Hello, folks. It's Tuesday night in San Francisco, and it's round 6 of the Tuesday night marathon at the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. And there's the smiling face of Josiah Stearman, and he's gone. We are going to have a lively discussion with chess room director Abel Talamentes and chess youth outreach experts and Judith Starry, and events coordinator at the chess club. And I'm tripping over my words a little bit. Because people in the room are laughing at me, but I'm not. They won't laugh for long. We're looking at historic pictures of the chess club, and
actually, I think you gotta move over here.
I'll say where I am. And
that's right.
You can hear the voices. We're watching right now the slideshow. You're actually in the wrong spot. You're going to have to sit over there, Abel. And,
I see that.
Yeah. And
wants me out of the picture.
no, he just put. I'm out of the picture too. There's Boris Spassky and Roman Chichendashvili and Natalia Sotokova and Tigran Petrosian and all these other great chess players, John Fedorowicz, that have played here.
I saw him at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, he was at the U.S. Open. There's James Tarjan and Hans Niemann, international master Hans Niemann. Tarjan making his comeback. And welcome everybody to our, I think this is going to be our 82nd video that we're put up on YouTube. So I'm going to transition. Here we go. Sitting here. Oh, you want to do that? Oh, okay.
Well, I was typing.
Okay. I'm transitioning, and
it's not.
Here we are with new special effects from our special effects coordinator, Juan Centejas. Uh-oh.
I have to use this.
What's going on? What?
Oh, did I take it out?
I don't know what's going on here. Okay.
Just move the mouse because it is
I said, yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't able to.
I have already said hello, everybody. Okay, so that's okay. You're fine.
I thought I was responding.
You're fine. We're getting used
I'm
to
glad you
it.
guys entertain each other.
Okay, so I'm going to try to get myself in the picture, and
No, I thought I was responding
I
to
know,
something.
I know.
right, that was actually me.
Yeah.
Huh?
That was actually me.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here at the Mechanics Institute outside this room, which is the chess room director's office, is the Tuesday night marathon round 6, and we're going to get to that, analyzing the games, the drama, etc., etc. But first, we're going to have a conversation with chess room director Abel Talamentes and Judith Starry, the youth outreach for the Mechanics, chess youth outreach for the Mechanics Institute. So what's the hot topic of the day, you guys?
The week.
Of the week.
Of the year, to some people.
Right. You're on camera, so.
So I guess the USCF just came out with a new policy regarding electronic devices that they're going to implement at some national events. So like the national, like the scholastic, like the junior high championship, the high school, the elementary, I believe. U.S. Open, I think, was on there. The U.S. Senior.
And all the, I think, the national.
So kind of the hot topic is something that we've been battling here the last few weeks.
Cell phone use.
The cell phone use.
Right. Nobody's cheating here at the club. It's more just the phones are going off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just disturbing. But the thing is that if someone say is like texting like during a game, just as a for example.
Right.
It creates the possibility that something else nefarious might be going on.
Right, and we have players that are sticklers to the rules for sure. I mean,
Well, not only that, but you have players that maybe used to doing that and not seeing an issue with it, or haven't been told previously that like it's a problem. So we've been trying to kind of enforce the cell phone rules more vigorously, and we've had a lot of success. But it was sort of clear that there were still some people that, and I don't suspect that there was they weren't cheating, but it's they were expecting a text from the wife, or
right.
take a call, and they didn't think anything of it, right? So
Right.
I think there was a need for us to really kind of remind people of what the rules are, because the other thing too, it's sort of a disservice if we don't bring it to their attention and create uniformity in the rules, because these same people are going to go to another event somewhere else, and they're just not going to be behaving in the way that they're supposed to at events, and it would sort of reflect bad on us if we didn't
And the other aspect of it is that FIDE is really strict about cell phones, right?
Right.
There's absolutely no cell phone policy, right?
And this is a FIDE rated tournament.
This is a FIDE rated tournament, so if you go anywhere abroad, they actually metal detect. You have to go through a metal detector to get to the playing hall
Wow.
at more norm events and serious events. So we are a little bit more relaxed than a standard FIDE event at anywhere in the world, but since you are running a FIDE event, you actually have to sort of.
So it's entirely possible for us to use USCF rules and FIDE rated tournament, but I mean realistically, like why wouldn't you just put your phone on silent and just leave no doubt as to the fairness of the event?
Right.
And so we actually made the announcement, and Judith made some nice laminated poster with like the rules, and we basically told people we're doing
Get used
this
to it.
for everyone,
Yeah.
and help us
Sanjay,
help us kind of
what is
regulate the
this?
event. Yeah, we're getting comments from Facebook and Twitch, so hello everyone. But everything has been great actually in the last few weeks. Actually, when we've gotten the most strict, people have responded positively, and I think we've kind of earned that too. But just the quality of the events we're doing, and we're working really hard, and a lot of cool things are happening here. So we sort of asked our players to kind of respond and represent high standards and quality, and everyone's doing it, so it's kind of nice to see.
Right. In case you're on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube, this is round 6 of the Tuesday night marathon. You're not seeing any chess actually right now, but you will in a few. We're talking about other chess related things right now.
So we have one of our regulars, Daniel Perloff, expressing his excitement that he's going to be playing a tournament in the Marshall Chess Club in October.
Okay, when are we playing a match with Marshall?
So we are playing a match online against Marshall on Tuesday, October 8th.
Maybe Daniel are you planning doing some kind of turncoat thing? And
Are you
for the
playing
Marshall?
for them on October 8th?
Yeah, what's going on here?
So we have that event. Actually, Judith and I spent the lunch sort of going over possible lineups. So
no, you wouldn't betray us.
Really? That's so cool.
Yeah, because we actually have to have the lineups out within a week, I think, and
A week from today.
today. So
Roughly, I don't know
What's the rush? I mean, it's getting all official and
oh
everything.
no, yeah.
Yeah, we are based
Wow.
on September supplemental rating. We have 4 or 5 categories: under 2300, under 2100,
25.
and things like that.
Wow, this is
Actually, so Daniel's wondering, Shanklin, Narodzki's, Viata, Zoria, they're actually not qualified for this because the lowest section's under 2500.
The lowest
25.
The lowest is below 2,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, so a 2,500 plus player can't play in this match.
Yeah, and because the whole reason was to kind of focus on the club aspect.
I love that. I
So the
love
club
it straight
players-
off.
Because honestly, if we were to allow GMs, Marshall would outplay
Respond.
us.
Respond.
Yes, because they have a GM probably at any time in the club.
Sure. They're just they're dime a dozen over there.
Yes, exactly. So they are kind of in advantage of that, but we purposefully kept it a club level. So that's why we draw the line under 20. Patrick Wolf, I think he
He's
would like.
over. He's over 2,500.
He's over 2,500, I think, and he's working behind the scenes to support chess.
This is going to be a fantastic event. I applaud everybody for wanting to make it a club level
And the other
kind
thing
of thing. I think
we
it's
really
so
pushed
great.
for is to have it. Our players will be playing from here. It's all on chess.com, so it's an online playoff. But our players will be playing from here, from the club, and we are going to broadcast it. We are going to show on camera how they are playing, to kind of show the club and the history and the atmosphere. And we were just told that I think they're going to do the same or so.
Yeah.
They're going to comment.
Oh, they're gonna have a commentator
So,
from their
yeah.
end also. So
And we're going to provide commentary as well.
you're gonna provide the commentary.
That's awesome. I can't wait.
So anyway, so that's
Will
what's
we
happening.
be able to? Will viewers be able to sort of see both commentaries at once, simultaneously, or can they? Or will they have to sort of switch back and forth? Or
I think the way it's structured, they would have to switch back and forth.
what a great idea, though. I mean, we're going to have
which
another.
I think is preferable,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Because you get to.
And we're going to tag
Hear
each
them.
other
Sure.
back and forth,
Yeah.
so it's
And
easy.
has the Marshall ever streamed events from their club at any kind of event?
I think they do some commentary, but I don't think it's with regularity. But I'm not sure actually.
This is really this is a whole world of chess
Yeah.
is opening up for people here. And it's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's exciting, and it's what's
really
exciting too. Oh, look at John Fedorowicz.
John on Facebook, John Fedorowicz. Hello.
And he was hanging out, and I was at the U.S. Open, and I saw him hanging out with Elliot.
John
Wow.
Fedorowicz is saying hello on Facebook. John and I go like so far back to a couple of U.S. Juniors championships in the 70s.
That's far.
Yeah, that's pretty far back. I feel like, well, we're old, so that's for sure. That's thanks, John, for joining us here.
Yeah.
So you're watching us on the Facebook streaming. John Fedorowicz, very interesting. This
It's
is
good to see some engagement this
Yeah.
early as we start.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, John, we're going to be, and everybody else, we're going to be looking at some chess games here at the 6th round of the Tuesday night marathon with some exciting players and the top 10 boards, the top 8 boards, and then the top board from the AB section and the top board from the under 1600 section. And
Hey, Chandrika, Ganesh says hello.
Oh,
from Facebook.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for watching.
thank you. Yes.
And people are saying hi from Facebook and Twitch right now.
Hey, Danny's here too.
Everyone's jumping in.
Everyone's jumping in. So,
If you want to say hey, now's the time. Hey, what's up, Danny?
Is there any other topics that you guys want to touch on?
Actually, one of the things.
So let's close the electronic stuff.
Yeah,
electronics.
But even here in the chat, so in the chat, someone brought up the fact that can these electronic scoring
Danny,
devices
rude.
be modified up here? And
Philip too.
so, I guess if someone really, really wanted to modify one of the electronic
Let's switch just so I can respond to that.
Yeah, one of the electronic devices, I guess they could. But the thing is that with the electronic notating device, the device has to be on the table, it has to
Okay.
be visible. So even if you were able to modify it, I don't know how you would actually use it because it has to be right there up, and the position has to match the board at all times. So, I mean, even if you modified it, I don't see how you would be able to use it or get away with it. So, but I guess one of the things that I was thinking about is one of the things I was thinking about.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it was.
With regards to kind of having like a policy across the USCF is, well, how do you handle it? Because right now they want to require you to, like if you have a device on you, they'll just forfeit your game. Right.
That's it. No tolerance, zero tolerance.
Yeah, and you would expect that, but when you have a tournament of like say 1,000, 2,000 kids.
Right.
How do you enforce that, right? I'm imagining it would be a little bit difficult. So I'm not suggesting that it shouldn't be done. I just don't know how you would go about that, especially with kids that maybe their watch is a Apple Watch, and now all of a sudden,
right?
Well, so I don't know.
So they're pretty successful with this in Europe, though, right? So why can't we just follow suit? Why do we have to be the Wild West where everybody gets to do whatever they want and get caught and punished?
I actually don't know what they do at kids events in Europe. Do they collect all the phones, or? Yeah. I don't know.
Good question.
Good question. And we should probably look at that because, I'm not real. I don't know.
I mean, I can understand the electronic, notating devices because it stores the games and it has all of that. But I always much more prefer score sheet.
Yeah, score sheets. It's funny because I'm teaching an elderly man in his 60s, and he doesn't want to use a score sheet. He wants to use an electronic device.
Yeah. So is that Paul? When you decided that was that done deal?
Yes, it was. Yeah, we're talking about an election in North Carolina. Right.
Yeah.
We're in a chess club, folks.
Club level chess. Yeah. So anyway.
So everyone, if you're just joining us, we just started to discuss the new electronic device rule that USCF just emailed out today about the details, and they are implementing this at their nationals. Scholastic nationals and some of the senior and the U.S. Open, and it's definitely a step in the right direction. It will be very hard to enforce, especially at a bigger tournament, but it's.
When I was playing chess back in the day, I would have had to have ripped the telephone out of the wall to bring it.
Bring a phone in.
And that shows that time is changing, and we have to kind of react to the change that we are facing in this world, right? The question is whether the electronics notation devices have enormous value for kids or for people who have any disabilities, right? They would not be able to notate or things like that. But at the same time, it's for quite a few kids, they are just lazy, right? It's just easier for them because they're not going to make too many mistakes versus in the paper sheet they are. So
gotcha.
it's
And some of the kids that begin like at a young age and they use the electronic score sheet,
they never learn, right?
But they just keep using it, right?
Yeah.
And they never transition to the score sheet.
So, and so it is true but then you have the kindergartners, right? Who it doesn't cost. Yeah, so they're making fun of rotary phones and everything. Yeah. So
I have the rotary
on the other hand,
phone.
if you have a kindergartner who barely can write, right, but if you actually make them use the electronic notation device, then they would be able to somewhat do scorekeeping, and so.
I think
anyway, they are off topic, right?
Yeah.
The other news, and Danny's here, hope probably watching. Danny and I are in the Scholastic Council, and the Scholastic Council updated Danny Rode.
Okay.
He's a son of Grandmaster Rode,
Right.
and together we are serving at the Scholastic Council. And Scholastic Council updates the Scholastic regulation every year. And one of the bigger changes this year was which sections do we require them to notate and which sections are not. And
You mean by rating?
by section. So elementary. So like
I
let's
see.
take grade level.
I see.
So kindergarten and first grade are not required to notate. And if I
Sort of makes sense,
remember, grade 2 and up are required to notate. And things like that. If you are age based, then
And that's only in the
in
national.
the nationals, yeah, correct. And so elementary national is a little bit trickier because it's not only per grade but also per rating. So kindergarten and first grade under unrated and under whatever 100 is not required to notate. Kindergarten through third grade under 1,000 is not required.
And you know
above
what
1,000 you should really.
And you know what I'm
notate, right?
thinking at this about, right as you're talking about this, I'm thinking that it wouldn't probably even occur to any of these kids to cheat. It's going to be some grown-up behind the scenes.
Under 7. Thank you.
It's going to be some grown-up behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
so that's actually a little bit
encouraging it.
different topic, right? The notation
Yeah.
is not because of the cheating; it's because of the,
Right, I
to
got
encourage
you. Right.
notation itself.
Is that one? Or that's
Yeah.
a main.
Can I ask one more thing? Shouldn't the USCF be active in trying to develop an electronic scorekeeping?
That's on their own.
They should. I mean, for U.S. chess, it would be. It seems to me that they should. It should be one of the things that they should be actively looking for to do is to make a foolproof electronic scoring thing
That doesn't look
that's
like a cell
cheap.
phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, but
Yeah.
how's that any different from chess noter, right? I mean,
Well, maybe it would be cheap. Like
Okay.
it would be not
Yeah,
for
but
profit.
like
It would be
Monroe
put out by a
is the
non.
same thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's.
But
it's
they're out
just,
of business right
They
now.
are.
Yeah.
They are not selling it anymore.
So maybe it could be sort of a non-profit, like
Yeah.
very low-tech thing.
Yeah,
And,
Danny's saying it's a slippery slope. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind that the educational value of actually notating, we should always stress that, right? Because it's
yeah.
it's a task that you actually have to.
of course, Paul's phone goes off.
Okay.
It's Gary Kasparov.
7 minutes.
I can't answer right now. I'm going to actually take this. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So anyway.
So anyway, all right. So
What else?
we're back. Yeah. What else? So yeah, no. So yeah, like the USCF has taken a harder line, it seems, with regards to electronic devices,
Yeah.
which is actually a really huge step
Yeah.
because
I personally like it.
Yeah. No, I like it.
it's,
I prefer it, and and that's why we're even here. We're taking a harder line at
Yeah.
Mechanics Institute, but
should,
it's harder.
Like install metal detectors
Metal
at the end.
detectors, yeah, in the bathrooms. Yeah. Put an
bathroom
attendant
too.
at the bathroom.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that even here, I mean honestly, just kind of saying it out loud, the Mechanics Institute club players would probably be among some of the most resistant to kind of radical change with regards to that, but they've embraced it. Like we didn't have any kind of pushback over it. I think they just like that we're being consistent with it and uniform, and it's all about protecting the integrity of the game. So
Yeah, and then creating less disturbance as well, right? Because even if there's no cheating accusation and everything, it is disturbing to hear that text
it's
playing,
annoying, right?
and so yeah, and hear or hear that clicking of actually taking a call or something.
Yeah, or like the commentator,
Yeah.
phone rings out loud. It can be annoying, and you have to go. Distracts the whole flow of everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Nothing. You should probably watch this back. Watch the tape replay back. But no, yeah. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, it's a start. Especially with a lot of new rules that have such wholesale impact. Stuff is gonna take some time to refine, but I think just kind of the move towards this is a step in the right direction, and we'll see where it goes. And actually,
the technology behind the DGT boards. So we have Mike Grant Forks commenting that as the DGT type boards get less expensive, that they might come where notation isn't even required. It was similar when chess clocks started keeping track of the move number, right?
But the score sheet takes care of both. Right?
Yes, and there's still official rules that you cannot rely on the move count on the clock, right? So even though it helps you, but you can't really rely on that, especially not make a claim of 40 moves and things like that.
We've heard some ideas just here in the club, especially when we started using the DGT boards. I mean, people were debating, and we still hear it even today.
Yeah, exactly.
Just someone today was saying, would it be possible to even need a board? So, like, would a chip in a chess piece be able to say it knew what the square, the diameters are and everything? Would it be able to know it knows the piece, and then by just moving it in a certain direction on any board, it would know that it's going to, G5 or something like that. Right. So you don't actually need a board that is electronic. Like, as long as it knows the dimensions of the squares, it'll know what square it went to and what piece it is.
Right, I think I follow you.
And then somebody else was saying, to broadcast, do you even need
a commentator?
A commentator.
You can't replace that.
Yeah, we can't replace
but
your
the
wit.
electronics behind the DGT board is not terribly complicated, right?
Right.
It's actually very doable.
They just
Score sheet disputes.
Well, Danny was commenting on still, like, score sheet is the one that makes the claim, right? It's not the clock.
Because it's in the
and
rule.
Everything.
That is that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see where technology goes, because I think what's going to happen is.
Yeah, exactly. Mike was saying that also when there's a roll-up board that have the DGT technology, exactly. That's actually it should be very simple electronics.
Yeah, they're gonna get that done.
Need to
to execute, right? Yeah.
Need to execute, yeah. Find an electric engineer who doesn't have any other things to do and let's get the project done.
Yeah. So
who knows? Maybe we'll find it.
But we're far.
Maybe right here in the Bay Area.
Or maybe in Hungary.
Are we straying from the question of cheating though? And
yes.
a little bit.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No. I'm.
Yeah. So the problem is I think.
I want to get back to cheating.
Yeah.
the chat doesn't.
Chat doesn't. Yeah.
I have no idea on the
patent.
Yeah.
Are they patent? The DGT boards? I mean, I don't. It should be simple electronics, right?
I suspect there's a lot of ways.
Go around that. Maybe we should ask Caesar. He's a patent expert now, right?
Attorney or something.
Attorney, right? Yeah. Anyway, but
we're not plotting anything nefarious here, folks.
So I actually read also a few of the Facebook comments on this. Is that really the cheating were more with traditional computers, where players left the playing hall and went to their room and looked up on their laptop, right? Or went to the bathroom and got assistant and things like that. So
we're back to cell phone use again here.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's hard. But all we have to do is keep fighting against it. Be hard on the cell phone rule. I think cell phone rule is very important.
And I don't think this applies to the notation devices, because like I said, the notation devices are actually required to stay at the board faced up with the position of it on there.
I think people are going to get used to this. I mean, when you go swimming, you don't bring your cell phone.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Plus,
it's.
Do you want to hear a funny example? What I'm actually like trying, maybe even in one of my daughter's high school class, she has to put her cell phone in a shoe holder next to the entrance.
Right.
And you can only enter to the room if you put your cell phone in. And if you don't
Gotcha.
have a cell phone in,
You have to go buy one so you can enter the class.
no, it's not, but everyone has one. So the teacher actually only allows them into the classroom if they have the cell phone in the shoe holder.
How about that? Also, at concerts now,
Yeah.
I've heard there's a new thing that shuts your cell phone off or something. There's an app that where you have to deact, like Madonna. I just read this. Madonna's is having 3 concerts in San Francisco.
You have to download the app.
Where she's having 3 concerts in San Francisco where your cell phone is like deactivated or something before you can enter the hall.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not joking. So it's maybe
let me
the
look up the
technology
technology.
might be look up Madonna and cell phone.
Yes.
Madonna cell phone deactivation.
Deactivation. So then he's saying we had a case at the CCA event where a player using a chest noter while opponent was in the bathroom adjusted their
there.
chest noter position and then the board. And the opponent came back. Wow.
That
I haven't heard.
That's crazy, though. I mean, that's,
Yeah, so
That's
what
really
happened, Danny? Can you tell us, did you catch it? Were you the chief TD?
so then when they say, "Hey, my queen wasn't hanging," you say, "Look, it's on the
Yeah.
board and it's on your noter."
How bad can you get? I mean, it's like that's my favorite thing. Hey, look over there.
And Daniel Perlov is asking, how did no one catch that? Well,
Hey, what is that?
I guess somebody caught that because Danny's telling the story. So
Or like in Princess Brides, I was, wait, what is that? And he switches the cups.
Stevie Mitt caught that.
Wow.
Okay, I think
I think my dad.
Frisco. That's Frisco. Are you Frisco? Wow. Thanks, Frisco, for joining in. That's
Danny
good.
wrote, I might have done something like that to your dad once. I beat him in a chess game once, so maybe that was how I won.
That's right.
Maybe. No.
How would you do?
You know, you guys
Switch the
are-
telephone. Anyway, but
We both had our rotary phones.
Yeah, maybe.
you know,
Anyway.
we're joking about this, and there's people watching this that have no idea what we're talking about in terms of rotary phones. But anyway,
I don't know which game you're talking about, Daniel. He sent in a chaotic game.
Yeah, I'm not sure about what.
Oh yeah, he gave it to me.
Oh, Donnelly.
Yeah,
Okay.
From the Donnelly.
Yeah. We got a few entries, so we will.
I took a picture.
We will see what to feature for at the newsletter, right?
I've got an
We have to
idea.
give it to Nick, but he doesn't look at those until Wednesday, Thursday.
For our chess newsletter, we
Yes.
can take pictures of the best score sheet, the neatest score sheet, and
Yeah.
also the worst score sheet. And
I
we can
love
put
it.
them side
Let's
by
do it.
side.
Mine
Let's
are not
do it.
bad. Mine are not too bad.
Yeah, let's do it. I love it. Yeah, and then the importance
Score
of
sheet of the day, right?
Yeah, and we can have age categories like
So these
under,
are from the
under
Donnelly. I
12.
played in the Donnelly.
Hey, look at that, folks. Look at
That's a
that.
good
That's
score
some
sheet.
nice score sheets.
See, I keep.
This is
Decent
able. This is able score.
This I can't even read that. How can you-
Sophia Road is saying,
Okay, you
look
can
at that,
read.
some
Sophia.
nice score sheets.
Hi, Sophia.
See, I take pride
Okay.
in my games.
The whole family joins us. That's good. Multiple rows.
I know we got.
Multiple rows
Yeah,
on
multiple
Facebook.
rows.
On Facebook.
And I bet
Yeah.
your dad is playing, right? At Marshall, right?
Yeah. So we should do that. We should have the worst score sheet.
Yeah.
Shaming people
No,
with the
that's
bad
not shame.
We
That's
can-
positive.
We can reach
messages.
into the yellow score sheets we have out there today and
Yeah.
easily find the worst score
Let's
sheet.
Yeah.
provide positive inspiration. Let's
Okay.
do not do negative.
All
Positive.
right. Okay.
And we can do age
It's more
categories,
fun.
right?
It's more fun.
Yeah, under 10, under 20, and then over 60, and then let's see.
That's
right?
true. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, the score sheets?
Yes.
And just see the
Best score sheets in the
quality?
age
Oh, okay.
category.
Oh, the best. Not like the deterioration.
Oh, you're all in different parts of Manhattan.
Yeah, I'm guessing they don't live in the same.
Shame sheets. Sophia
No,
Rose says
no,
this.
no, no shame sheets. No.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
Abel, you're
protesting.
setting a really good example.
No, that's a
with
high
this.
bar, I think.
This
That's
is
pretty
really-
Well, you can
Look at
still buy.
that.
That's
I'm
clean.
like.
That's a game
Wait a
I
minute.
lost too.
Yeah,
It's a
and you-
black one.
yeah. Nice circling.
Yeah.
Yeah, circling is important.
Very important.
Yeah, writing is cool.
But,
Yeah, we are educating for writing as well. Score sheets, hardcore score sheets, turning the yellow.
Shame sheets.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway,
Okay, so
Yeah,
let's
okay.
start transitioning,
All
right?
right,
To the
I'm going to
games.
transition to the actual games here. Are the reason? Well, no, this is
This is the transition. Follow
Yeah,
us, guys.
this is one of our
Us.
transitions.
yeah, it's a shameless self-promotion. But
Well, we're back
follow
to
us.
back to where we started.
Well, we
Yeah.
can do another
Do this one that says Stinger.
stinger.
Stinger. Yeah.
Stinger.
See, we're playing with our toys here.
Okay.
And then
We
one
are
more.
the Mechanics Institute chess club. I don't think
Just-
I'm not sure that there is
So,
anymore.
Sophia
Oh,
Rhodes.
this is
Sophia Rhodes calling me out because, as she correctly saw, there was no signature on the score
no
sheet.
signature on the score sheet.
I did not. I should have. Yeah.
I don't think any of the other ones are anything. Yeah.
No.
So
Okay, that's not.
careful. Some of them are works in progress.
Okay,
You may
let's
not-
do the
you may
social
not
media
wanna-
again. Follow us,
Okay.
guys, okay? It's actually very easy. We made it very easy for you guys. Mechanics chess all over the board, across the
All over-
platforms, and all over the board, right?
Uniformity.
All over
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah, laughter is good. Always.
Always good. Yeah.
Okay, now we can really have a good laugh because we're going to go to the chess games.
Yeah.
that are
Yeah, so
being
Danny,
played.
let's do some chess, okay? Yeah, I
Here.
know you
And,
love
and,
Danny.
and Danny,
Two
I know
cameras
that because I
scene.
heard about it today
You can,
during
yeah,
lunch.
transition.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that good? Now you guys see the
That's
boards,
great.
right?
Yeah. Well, not yet.
Not yet?
Well, you want to do it? So you go to
yes?
Stearman. Oh no, we have to go to DGT Boards Interact.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I need the DGT boards. Boom. Wait a minute. Okay.
I think
Oh, I
you
need
guys
no.
see the boards right
yeah.
now, right?
Okay, here we go. Here, hold on a second, everybody. And we're going to do that fun thing
Transition
again.
Okay.
All right.
Let's
But
see.
actually, the main thing is that what I didn't do is you click on the DGT boards
Yeah,
and then
the
you go.
interact. Yeah, we
and
want to
then you
interact
go.
too. I know. I just wanted to show
I forgot.
the camera.
I forgot how to do
Yeah.
that.
So everyone, we are again round 6 of the TNM Tuesday
Tuesday.
Night Marathon from
Live from San Francisco.
downtown San
Live
Francisco.
from downtown San Francisco.
Yes.
And I'm FIDE Master Paul Whitehead. This is Judith Starry, MI Chess Youth Outreach and Events. And let's see.
So what you guys see on the top right corner is a camera that's in one of our corner.
That's
Let me untrangle
yeah.
this for you guys.
what
Okay.
we're looking at is Elliot Winslow in the green shirt, and he's playing Hosea Stearman.
And that's
who's
board number 1.
board 1. And on board 2, we have 2 youngsters. Eric Lee is white against Shriram Krishna Kumar. I want to say one other thing is that Hosea Stearman, FIDE Master Hosea Stearman is running away with this tournament. He's 5-0. So let's see how he's doing against Elliot. Let's go to the beginning. And so
Frisco Kid says he lives in the city, but he's too intimidated to play the TNM so far. Well, I have a good solution for you. Why don't you come down, just look around, and we have regularly players who are looking for house games. So we can plug you in for one round. Let's see how it goes. We can even say you play game in 45, game in an hour,
we have
game in
many
35.
beginning players here.
So I played last round, so it's good.
Yeah, well,
so-
you won.
I won.
Daniel Perloff is asking
What's your rating, Frisco? So anyway, so how's
yeah,
Zion?
so this is Stearman Winslow, and another close Sicilian. Actually, Stearman got crushed by Elliott the last time they played, I think, in and lost in like 20 some odd moves the last time they played a closed Sicilian. So this is Elliott's hoping for a repeat here. Knight h5, that looks like a good move. And we're getting a sharp position. This is probably book. Certainly looks playable for black.
Come on down, Frisco. I'll hook you up for a game, and then you can have a taste without any commitment, okay?
Black seems to be doing fine here in this game. And that's a sharp move. And Elliott his game has actually gotten quite sharp in the as he's gotten in his twilight years of his chess career.
Yeah, he's actually very good. He has a good run.
If CD, and then Bishop D, I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay, wait a minute. I moved too fast. Let's see. What happens if pawn takes knight, or C takes D4, C takes D4, and then if Bishop D2, E3 check. That's my guess. And black regains the piece. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Said white just simply recaptures. Black's knight goes back, and white's completing his development. And another shot from Winslow. He's going to recover the piece with G5. Knight takes F4, G5. Bishop F3, threatening to move the knight. Pawn recovers the piece. This looks like it's gone pretty well for black. His king side's open a little bit. Black's been forcing the play here, and is completing his development. And now Josiah is thinking, this is a complicated and sharp game, just what you'd expect from these guys. Elliott certainly would like to win this game and bring Josiah back in among the rest of the players. Because Josiah, as I said, is just running away with this thing. All right, now on board 2, we have...
So Josiah, for those of you who don't have the standing, Josiah is 5-0. 5 out of 5, and then the next closest one is Eric with 4 points.
Eric Lee, who
is playing on the second board with whites, and then following Elliott Sriram with 3.5. So
and this kid has now beaten who? Krishna Kumar,
beaten Elliott for sure.
He beat Elliott, and I think he won. Did he beat Kyron Griffith as well?
Yes, I think that
this
was
guy
the
is
big
just
one.
The kid who's playing black here. He's 11 years old, I think. Beat international master Elliott Winslow, and he beat the highest ranked player in the tournament, Kyron Griffith, FIDE master, who's 2452. So let's take a look at this. And we've got this Slav. I can't stand it. I'm seeing Slavs every game here. And I've never been on the white or black side of this. And I still don't know nothing about it. Eric Lee is the top ranked 11-year-old in the country, I think. And he's a master. And
Eric?
Yeah, Eric.
Yeah.
He's just becoming a pretty strong master here. And he's playing...
Semi-Slav, Bruce. Hi, Bruce.
Yeah, okay, semi-Slav. Semi-Slav, Slav, whatever. Half a Slav. Yeah, it's almost 2,300. Thanks, Daniel.
But Sriram actually had a really, what it seemed to be a worse opening for him against Griffith, and then he turned it around, right? That's my recollection.
Yeah,
so.
We can take a look at that in a minute. Bruce Ricard says hi on Twitch.
Yes.
Hi, Bruce.
I'm pulling it up because I can't really type there because of the...
Okay.
But I'm going to try to
all right.
Respond to them.
Okay. So this seems like a sort of a normal game. and black plays in the center. And this seems that black has done pretty well in the opening here. White's not been that ambitious, and black starts to get ambitious with e4, although he has to watch out for knight g6 and knight f5. This does threaten mate in 1. So this is crude but possibly very effective. f4.
It didn't fall.
What?
Didn't fall for mate in 1.
He didn't fall for he didn't fall for mate in 1 and played f4. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so he blocks it with f4, and black decides to sit with the e pawn. He could have played ef3 here. Let's take a look. E takes f3, knight takes f3, and then maybe rook e8. I'm not sure. This white, a nice little tactic to reposition the knight at e5, and I think it's possible that Krishna Kumar overlooked that move or underestimated the strength of it. Knight e5 is a nice square for that knight to end up on. It looks to me like black made a mistake not playing pawn takes pawn en passant. And white might have had another strong continuation also by playing knight f5 and knight g3. I think black's pieces just look wrong now, with the queen on d6, and I think he should have played pawn takes f3. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
What's the time control? Game in 2 hours with 5-second delay.
Okay, and now we're going to go to board 3, where the top-ranked player in the tournament, Kyron Griffith, is playing expert Michael Lynn. And both of these players have 3 points out of 5 games. And Kyron Griffith has been having, well, he took a couple of buys, I guess. He won this tournament twice in a row, so now he's not having, because this old line, b6, queen g4, bishop f8. I never trusted this way of playing for black. Petrosian, Sarawan, there were other defensive-minded, counterpunching kind of players like playing this for black, but white is definitely for choice as far as I'm concerned, has a lot of different ways of playing this. And white immediately, this is an interesting way to play this, not something that would occur to me. And that's another, I guess he could play queen takes e7, and then comes knight takes d5. So this was a good choice, I think, by Kyron here. Black, it kind of switches black up a little bit. If bishop e7, queen g7, if queen e7, knight d5. All right, so black is compelled to take with the king, and white develops. Black's king is trying to reach b7, which it looks like it's going to be able to do. And I'm not convinced that white's really... And that's g6, an interesting move. I don't know really what to think of that move. Normally black might play g5 here. Or try to maybe play c5, although that's the area that white wants to open up. A sort of maneuvering game going on here. And now black does play g5. White could have maybe taken on g6 at some point earlier. White's maneuvering the knight to g4. I don't know. I can't. That night, a knight on g4 is going to make it difficult for black to move the rook. But now maybe is the time for black to play like rook a8, knight g4, bishop f8, and then white will probably play f4. And that looks like it could go well for white, even though he drops the a pawn. Very sharp position.
And Daniel is commenting that it looks provocative because white splits the pawns.
Yeah. So the line I'm looking at is rook h a8, knight g4, bishop f8, f4. But black could possibly play, keep it down a little bit. Black could possibly play rook takes a4, rook a4, rook a4, fg5, rook d4.
G and
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah. All right. Complicated. If white can play a bind with knight g4, this is too difficult to call. Really. We'll go to board board 4 here, and this is Russell Wong, National Master, versus Ethan Boldy, who's having a another youngster, maybe 14 years old.
Yeah, so it's again, Russell is an older player, right? Regular player, and I'm playing against a very young player who's also regular, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of regulars here, and some of them are really young, and they've been playing here for years.
Yeah. And Ethan is coming to all of our events, it seems, nowadays. He was here this Saturday.
Nathan?
Ethan.
Oh, Ethan Boldy, yeah.
And Ethan has a little brother, Nicholas. I think he's in the middle section, probably,
Right. Yeah, they play in all the chess tournaments. They have a habit of playing out till May, which I'm not quite sure where that originates from, but
we're just missing Daniel Perloff from the bunch, right?
Yeah,
he probably has.
And Daniel, you're pointing out that Russell Wong is a floored master at 2200. Yes, but sometimes those floored masters can come back. And so we have a French defense here.
Who is the Jay Bonin of the club?
Who is it used to be Peter Gray. There was a guy here named Peter Gray who played in every single tournament, and he's passed away now, but he played, I mean, in every single Tuesday night, not the weekend tournaments. So who is the Jay Bonin of the club now?
John Chan?
John Chan, maybe. Yeah.
Or, I mean...
Yeah, there's people, yeah. We have some...
I mean, Elliot is coming quite close to...
Your dad, Daniel.
Yes. Yes, your dad.
Yeah,
too.
he looked very determined when he was walking into the club today. I saw him.
Oh, he hasn't missed the TNM. So Daniel, who's commenting here, is a high school student and very nice guy. And he has a dad who's also a regular. And he played, it was funny. So they played on Saturday. Daniel played.
Who did he play?
I don't know. No.
Okay.
His dad wasn't playing, but his dad was walking around, and he said, and I saw him shaking his head when Daniel was moving, and I said, "Oh my God, Daniel!"
Who's the stronger player?
Daniel's dad.
The dad is the stronger player.
Yeah. Daniel, I think Daniel, you're around what?
Yeah,
no, it was funny. It was really funny.
What's
how
your rating,
dad,
Daniel?
I think your rating is what? 1,500, 1,600? You are close online. Good.
My dad taught me how to play, but then we never really played much after that. I became stronger than him.
Okay. We have to
I'm
be
chewing
quiet.
gum. That will help me keep my voice down.
Over the board, he's 1,300. Okay. So it was really fun to see Daniel and his dad. And his dad was here supporting Daniel. That's good. It was really nice.
Hey, Paul, where are the cups?
It's here.
There.
Yeah. There's the business of the chess club, folks. That means
It's like
bringing drinking cups out for people. I'm joined here by Abel now. Abel Talamantes, chess room director. Is Judy coming back?
I don't know.
Shall I leave her name up there?
Yeah, leave her up. She went to
Okay.
go. She went to go replace the cups. And for the record, she insisted on doing it just now. I didn't give her the cups.
Maybe she needs a break.
Yeah, but yeah, had to go checking out on a. Yeah, I'm the new Judith. Checking on a dispute between Samuel Agdamag and Craig Yamamoto, who were playing each other.
What happened?
I guess one was making, some like disturbing noise movements. But they were playing an extra rated, I think it was game in 45 each. And I go over there and, one player's got, like 40 seconds left. The other player's got, like 30 some minutes. But it was interesting. It was kind of a knight and pawn.
How did that happen?
Knight and pawn versus knight and pawns against bishop and pawns, like endgame. And actually the bishop ended up prevailing. So yeah, that was it. I'm watching from Chipotle. So we have Juan enjoying some dinner right now, and I guess he's watching.
Is that Juan
our
Sundance?
Yeah, so Juan is watching live from Chipotle in downtown San Francisco.
And thanking us for a good job.
Well, thank you, Juan. Could not have done it without you.
Yeah, Juan is awesome.
So how are the games? I was over there looking at Eric Lee's game against Sriram.
Yeah, that looked interesting.
Yeah.
We're working our way down. We're still on. I haven't gotten past board 4 yet, and it's 8:30. So I'm trying to kind of move things along.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
This is has transposed into an exchange French of a sort, and we're talking about the players and the personalities involved here.
Well, yeah.
Let's see, if black plays knight takes knight, pawn takes knight,
Rook takes pawn.
rook takes pawn, queen takes bishop d4. That's possible, but then rook d1 or castles even. So maybe that's not so good. Black decides to play more simply and play bishop e6. But now comes knight c6. Bishop must take on c3.
Queen gets
White
out
takes
of the
back
way.
with the queen. Pawn takes. White has the 2 bishops here. And that might... But black has a big lead in development. And we're... This could lead to a bishops of opposite colors situation here. Yeah, black hesitates by playing queen f6 and then queen h4. Maybe he wanted to play queen h4 right away, but his hand got stuck. When the piece got stuck when it moved to f6. See, just to go back, right, here black plays queen f6, and then rook e1, and then goes queen h4. So I'm not really sure why that happened. F3, knight g5, and okay, so it's not going to be bishops of opposite colors like I thought, and more unbalanced position. And the queen goes pawn hunting, and that's where we stand. So rook e6 is the obvious move, but then comes maybe bishop f2. Not bishop. Yeah, well, actually, bishop g5 is possible on rook e6. We're getting some advice here from Daniel Perlov.
Yeah, actually, to that, to get the
and Judith's, yeah.
I think the bits and what have you. So we should be getting affiliate status soon. We actually got cleared to do that. And I think once we do that, I was told, then we'll be able to kind of interact more using the currency of Twitch and what have you. So so that should be interesting.
I've decided to transition to Abel and Paul,
Yes.
just because it was starting to bother me a little bit that you've had Judith by your.
See, he's got some OCD.
That's good.
But also, I wanted
That's
to.
actually very good.
I wanted to see that transition thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Every board, you change the boards, and you should have a transition.
Oh, we just lost the.
I don't think there was any. Oh yeah, we lost the chat.
Yeah.
What happened there?
You did something.
No. How could I lose the chat? I need Juan here. It's the only way I know. Is that it?
Yeah, but
Oh no. Okay, was that it?
No, but it's this other window. But we're both fighting.
Oh,
for
okay.
the
Go to Firefox. No, not that one. Firefox.
No, that's
and now drag this over there. I think.
No. But this isn't. Oh, that is the platform, though.
I think it's this.
Okay,
Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna have to ask Juan to
We're both
get back.
using the controllers here.
Okay.
Let's see. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know though. That's.
I got it here. There.
I don't know how I lost that. All I did was transition us to
So I think we're good, but then even here.
social alerts, maybe.
Social-
Is that it?
No.
No. Well, we need Juan here to get us back. Oh no, underneath. There you go.
There it is.
Open in browser. Try that. Is that it?
Oh, it might be actually.
No,
I do
something.
not believe that is right.
I don't know what happened.
Oh no! It's good. It's good. It's
Paul
good.
broke the
It's good.
check.
It's good.
yes,
We're good.
Paul did break the check.
How did I break
You
it though?
break the chat
I-
with your wit and humor.
All I did was transition us to this new to this thing.
But we're working now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Okay, we lost our history there, but all right. So let's see.
Brother Mechanics says it too, and we lost our history.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good.
Okay, so let's see.
So no moves. Yet.
No moves have been played. All right, let's move on. To Askin versus Sodakova, and this is to Natalia's a woman FIDE master, woman's FIDE master, and David Askin is a strong expert. And we're getting a King's Indian. And Natalia has a lot of experience with this opening. Knight A5, that's an interesting move, going straight for the C4 pawn. And opening the way for black to play C5. This is possible.
So to Bruce Ricard, my work anniversary is in December.
B5. Black is playing the standard. The knight at C3 was attacked, and white plays queen C2. Black exchanges on C4.
That seems surprising to me, no?
Little
Because it looked like it
looks
was,
like black could play E5 here. It would be a normal move here to play E5, and then should play F5. But let's see, maybe there's something going on here. Nothing. Black's playing a little bit on the queen side and attacking C4, and things are moving
probably
along.
looking to get to rook B8.
Yeah. All right. Let's move along here to the next game. Nothing. This is National Master Tenzing Shaw versus
That should be a good game.
National Master Michael Walder. And this is on board 6. And Michael Walder just had a great tournament.
Oh, yeah, at the state?
Yeah, I'd say holding the tension was probably better on the queen side in that Natalia Sodakova game. Fulton and Baker. That's in San Francisco.
cross streets.
Frisco Kid.
That's not.
That's definitely Frisco. And this is the Trompovsky attack. Here. One, we temporarily lost the chat, but we got it back, man.
They fixed it.
Yeah, and I don't know how I lost it either. Our genius is back. So this is a Trompovsky attack, folks.
Whoa, F3, huh?
Yeah. Wow, this is a sacrifice that I'm not really that familiar with. I guess black could take, and then knight c3, and we've transposed into some kind of gambit. Black plays c5. Black is trying to wrest the initiative from white. e5, knight d7, c3, bolstering the center, e6. We're in some kind of French hybrid now.
This looks like a French something.
Yeah. Bishop e3. White wants to play f4, and the loss of tempo is not too bad here. And black is playing to develop quickly and play f6. So there's a consistent strategy there. Although black doesn't want to trade on c3. And for all you folks out there, of course, knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, queen takes c4, bishop h7 check. So that's why black doesn't take the pawn on d4. And now this is really a radical way and bold way for black to try to break up the king's side and take advantage of a sort of a lead in development that he has, and break up the pawn structure. But it's risky. A move like that is tremendously risky.
Trying to open it up. Oh wow.
Yeah, let's see. If white takes f takes g5, then f takes e5. But taking advantage of the fact that white can't take with the d pawn because of d4, I think. So let's just follow the players as they move. Black kingside is a little denuded of pieces and protection, but white finds nothing better than to just go. Do you like my commentary? Denuded.
So that's an actual word?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have.
It means laid bare. Yeah. It actually it's actually I use the word without even thinking, but it's it actually sort of means what it means.
I'd have to run that by Jessica. Jessica used to be a
Jessica.
Yeah, she would always have a new word, just some word I'd never heard of, and she would just know the definitions. And so she'd probably thrown words out there and made me feel quite inferior of my knowledge of the English language. When I said denuded, I'm like,
denuded.
It
actually means exactly what it says. It's laid bare, like it lays bare or something. Denuded. And but it's it's actually a kind of a war term, like
that's where
it's warlike, yeah.
Wow.
But it's all from reading a lot of comic books when I was a kid.
You saw that in a comic book?
Probably. I don't know. I saw Mad Magazine. My dad loved Mad Magazine.
Oh yeah. Classic.
Bishop e3. So this has kind of worked out for black a little bit, although the denuded king side is cause for worry. Okay, so that's where we are in this game. These are some good games. All right, now we're going to go to the one finished game.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I want to find out what happened here.
That was blitzed.
This game was over
almost.
in like 20 minutes, or 15 minutes.
30.
I mean, we were still,
It's
talking.
quick, yeah.
All right. Ivanov Davila, and these are two talented players.
So far, so good.
Strong experts. We're in a normal Caro-Kann.
So far, so good.
Yeah, this even a little bit of book I know.
And in this, they could conceivably have blitzed this out.
Yeah,
because this is all lying.
Right. This castling kingside business is. I'm not sure about, because usually black plays queen c7 and castles on the queen side. I have seen games where he's castled on the king side, but this is dangerous for black. I think. I mean, it could be a strategy, but usually black is playing queen c7, and Jesus, they really. You got the vacuum cleaners. We have to have a talk with Mohammed. I think.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it
There's
out.
something is rotten in the state of Denmark here.
You get a little aggressive with because they would normally be doing this at like
Yeah,
an hour or so.
There's something strange. Yeah. So Castles, Bruce says this is more dynamic and it's supposed to be almost equal. Okay, but it's risky. All right, c5. This all looks sort of normal, and here we go. This is what I was talking about.
That's just to open it up, right?
Yeah.
He's inviting the take.
What is with the vacuum cleaners?
Well, we only have one game going in the other room, so
Yes,
you know.
only just one.
Okay, so knight e4, queen e4, and white is just single-mindedly playing for the attack, and you can't blame him. This looks strong. Although, we don't have the benefit of computer analysis, so I'm not sure. But let's see the how this went. Knight c5, attacked the queen, but also took a piece away from the king side, and this is a very threatening move here. Queen g4. Pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn. This g file is just incredibly. And black plays f5, queen g2. Will the attack on the g file come through or not? And I kind of like that move. That seems to throw a spanner into the works. h6 though. Rook f7. I'm still, knight e5 is looking strong here. White hasn't black, well, there's a lot of unanswered questions here. Okay. Knight e5 and knight g6 check. That's what's coming. That's the problem here for black. Yeah.
That's just.
I mean,
There's no way to defend that, right?
there doesn't look like there's a way to defend it. It's mate, and the queen's attacked. Careless play by black here.
So the carelessness was really just a move or two.
That's it. He just resigned. Okay, so let's see.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't, completely
Well,
crazy.
okay, so on h6, the threat is h7, king h8, knight e5. So you have to try to take the...
can you go g6?
Or, well, then bishop e7 and queen takes g6. But what about some centralizing move like queen d5? All right, let's try that on for size. Because that paralyzes the white knight, right?
That's right.
And it even prevents knight e5. Now, I do see something tricky, though. h7 check, king h8, and then knight h4. So if queen g2, knight g6 mates.
It's just bad.
There might not be a way out of that. Maybe rook f7. We're going to keep going back and looking for the culprit here. Maybe it was time to play bishop takes g5 right here. All right, well, a lot of unanswered questions.
Because if it take bishop g5, you prevent the knight from getting to the
Right,
h5
to that.
e5,
Yeah.
e5.
Yeah, a lot of unanswered questions, but we don't have all evening, folks. We're going to keep. We're going to move on. That's it. Pow. Right. Yeah. We need one of those umbrellas where we
The hook.
pull the hook.
The hook.
The
Get
hook.
out.
The players went home early, so that was. We're still moving along here on board 8, and I want to take. This is. Are these two experts, Ostrovsky and Ostrovsky and Argo? Actually, Argo is an A player, and Ostrovsky is an expert. And I'm joined by Andrew Schley, from Wisconsin, formerly from Wisconsin. And
Don't worry, U.S. Chess is already updated. I'm from California now.
you're from California. Guy Argo. Guy Argo is a great name. Yeah, it's some old explorer or something. He's actually a race car driver. He's a race car driver, guys. And okay, so let's move on here and let's take a look at this game. This is a center counter defense. And it looks like White's maybe going to try to hold the pawns, and I would maybe after e6. I think c6. I don't know. This is probably book. Dangerous position for both players. Look at this, knight d5. White is seriously behind in development here. He does have an extra pawn, which he's determined to hold on to. Somehow this just looks bad for White.
This has to be. They don't have any pieces though. The king's.
There goes one pawn.
Yep.
Probably another one is coming soon.
And the,
This
the
is
king's
just
stuck
atrocious.
What's
Ostrovsky's getting murdered here.
Yeah, and what's wrong with just taking the extra pawn now with check?
I guess nothing.
Yeah.
From probably he's looking for something better,
if
but
there's mate.
yeah. But from White being a pawn up to being materially equal, he doesn't even have a pawn to show for it.
Well, so can we go back and pinpoint where they went wrong?
Best is knight c6 after he grabs the e-pawn. It says Aaron Thompson on YouTube. We have a YouTube, somebody following us on YouTube. So let's go back to knight c6. So this is book. No, White grabs the pawn. You're saying White grabs the pawn here.
Yeah, knight c6 right away. Knight c6 right away. Don't you just play d5?
Yeah, maybe. I think maybe not here.
Not there, no.
Yeah, e6. D takes e6.
Knight plays c6.
I don't think knight c6 looks right here either. I'm not sure what's going. I'm not sure about this opening.
Yeah.
White shouldn't be too greedy. Let's just get down to general principles. White should be doing everything he can to get out of trouble here. No way this is book. Down a queen. Is somebody down a queen here? No. Okay. All right, White's in deep trouble. Has lost the right to castle and is seriously undeveloped. There's undoubtedly a forced win here, and it's just a matter of will Black find it. And let's go to the top board in the A-B section. Now this is the Cinderella story of Mansour Mohammed, who has won. This is his second tournament. Is that right?
Yes.
I think, and he won the section last time, the unrated.
Yes.
Now he's winning this section. He's 5-0, right?
I think he won the win. He still won the middle section. He was in the middle section.
Oh, he was
Let
in
me
the-
double check
okay.
it. But he was in the middle section, but he won it, and now he's again in the middle section, but he's gonna be probably.
Good night, Sophia
Good
wrote
night,
on
Sophia.
Facebook.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. And
Yeah.
classes at 7 a.m.
Oh,
And-
that's
and-
not good.
Bruce Ricard says that the computer gave that minus 11
Yeah,
that
so that's
last
where he's saying
position.
down a
So it's obviously a forced win for Black, that position. So Mansour Muhammad is just an expert in disguise here. He's playing in a second tournament, but he's definitely playing a strong game. And look at this, is a sophisticated treatment of this opening too. I'm not really sure if he's not mixing up some systems here though with B3. Yeah, that was... I would not have played bishop e6, allowing knight g5, and now the bishop goes back to c8. So what's with that? White will lose more time, but White's knight would probably prefer to be back. And White strikes in the center. Knight g4 attacks the knight on g5. These are not moves that would normally occur to me. And Black again moves another piece twice. h3. And White takes a pawn. And now takes another pawn. And Black regains one of the pawns. And has a sort of an attacking stance, but not... and offers the exchange of queens. And White's thinking. Black has taken an awful lot of time to reach what I would say is probably an inferior position. Bishop b2 threatens queen takes g7 mate. If queen takes queen, then just knight takes queen. So this just is a failure for Black, the way that Black has played this. And White is way up on the clock as well.
So Mansour, he did win the AB section last time, the summer TNM.
Okay.
And he also had a really good run at the state championship this Labor Day. I
What
think
state? Oh yeah, the state championship over
Yeah.
Labor Day.
he didn't lose a game. He had like 4 draws and 2 wins, I think. So he kept his...
Was he playing up stronger players?
I don't know. I think he was
Yeah.
playing. He usually plays in his section.
Okay.
And let's promote last week, right? I mean, last week was incredible. They were the last game to finish, and they had some very interesting... He was down on time, like 30 minutes down on time.
Yeah, he was losing the game.
Losing the game, and then he actually came back and worked his time up or down or whatever we say it, and then at the end he won by an incredible end game. Abel actually wrote a TD piece in our newsletter, so go to our website. Let's do the transition of the website.
Oh, okay.
There you guys.
All
There
right.
you go, guys. Go to our website.
Chessclub.org. Isn't that the Pan American
No.
TWA?
Anyway, chessclub.org, and click on the newsletter. We give out a newsletter every single week where we have TNM, and just watch one of the or read one of the newsletters. And
Judah, I'm going to outdo you here.
yeah, I know, it's easy. We should change the font on that website. But yeah, so chessclub.org, and read our newsletter. Actually, every single game is transcribed there. Some of them are annotated. We always have a little review, a TD corner, tournament director corner. So Abel actually wrote about Mansour's end game and what we thought, that it was a draw for it wasn't a legal move. So we actually had to add 2 minutes to Mansour's clock.
Oh.
And then he won the game. So it was really cool.
Okay. This is going very well for Mansour again in this game. And sloppy play by Black.
Hi, Joshua.
Is that Juan? Juan says the transition is hard to read. They say, somebody's saying it's a sweet transition, but it's hard to read on the blue and white board.
Yeah,
Well,
so
That's social
that
media.
was the. Well, no, I think they were
That was the
referring to
website.
the
Oh, the
website
website.
because it's
Just
white font, and we should make it
Plus-
black.
plus I-
We'll make it black.
Plus, whoever owns the Pan American, defunct Pan American airline logo might not.
Yeah.
If you,
No, he's doing a good job.
okay.
It's
This is the top board in the under 1600 section. This is Sterling Albury versus Johan Ansari. I'm not sure of these folks' ratings,
So
but they're,
Sterling's 1100. Ansari is 14 or 15.
and they
yeah.
Yeah.
and so. Okay, Sterling Albury
1450.
is obviously a ringer. He's 5-0 in this tournament, and not only that, but I think he won some other.
Yeah, I'm looking him up because I think he just started playing.
just
I
started
remember I was already
Right.
here when he was asking about.
Well, he
Yeah,
I
provisional
played.
20.
I played
how
him.
the horsey moves. Was he asking how?
No, he was asking about how to get a membership.
Oh, I see.
And I
Okay.
think he was one of the first player I helped here.
Well,
Right.
he's got the tattoos. He's got a pawn on each of his arms.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
joking.
He's got two big chest tattoos.
Wow.
I played him in my first game at the Mechanics back in
Okay.
July, and that was the first thing
Yeah.
I noticed. He
Is
had
Yeah,
that
so
right?
his first game.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to stop this broadcast. You guys can keep talking. I want to go outside and look
Yeah.
at this guy's
You're just gonna
tattoos.
go check him out.
Yeah, I'm going to go check
He's-
him out. I'll be right
yeah,
back.
so I remember Sterling.
410.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Sterling. He
Good thing he didn't
came.
ask me for any of my chest tattoos. I'm not taking my shirt off on the camera.
You have chest
I have a
tattoos?
big chest tattoo on my shoulder. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I actually got that though on my first trip out to
So we
California.
have to do some like beach activities
Yes.
for me to take a look at.
Some body issue for chess.
I should get a
ESPN
tattoo
does.
too.
Yeah.
I should get.
No. Oh, hey, well, you're just as.
He doesn't.
Yeah, you can see the bottom
Yeah.
of the pawns.
You know who else has a chest tattoo?
No.
You.
I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do? Well, can you
Yeah.
show us?
No, I'm not taking my shirt off. Stream, but I got it. It was actually my first tattoo, and it was on my drive out to California for the first time. I did that 5 years ago. My best friend and I just loaded up a car and we drove out here, and we spent 3 days in San Francisco. We didn't actually check out the mechanics. I had no idea what it was. 5 years later, I'm working here, but
And you're playing a guy with a chest tattoo.
Yeah.
You know,
I got it at a random tattoo shop in Reno, Nevada. But my
That's
first
a-
one was a chest tattoo.
that's amazing. Let's take Abel's name off of here since he's not. And I'm gonna just I'll put Paul and Judith.
No, but
But you're fine. I don't need to. Yeah.
Oh, and there's that.
anyway,
There's
so Sterling came here, I think, in June. His first tournament was at the Edison Memorial. And so I think he had like one tournament back in 2005.
that. Oh, when he was a
So-
kid, probably,
Yes.
or something.
And
like
now
that.
he's starting again. So he's a new player here,
Okay.
and he's
He's
been
just
quite
playing well,
regular.
yeah.
And he has 20 rated games now. He played at Donnelly, Bernardo Smith. He played every single tournament.
Is Starry? Is that you?
Is
Yes.
this-
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering who that was.
Oh no, members chest tattoos no.
Thinking. Oh,
Pornography. Yeah.
what were you thinking?
So, if you're interested in our calendar of events, go to chessclub.org and there's chess tournaments link, and just click on that.
All right. Well, let's see how this game is going. Let's get back to the
I'll
chess.
let you guys.
No, that's
put on
okay.
his name.
Interact. Okay. Okay, yeah, Andrew, let me find your name. Angela, so we know who you,
Yeah.
since Judah got up. And I need as much practice with this as I can get. So Andrew, boom, 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 boom. If you see your name, tell me to stop. Andrew, we have Shanklands. We've had some.
Yep.
There you are.
Under Richard Kepke.
Okay. Boom. And that means I have to take off Judith and Paul, which is.
I saw Judith's name.
Yeah, but it's Paul and Judith, this one that we take off. Oh, and then we have to put my name too. There we go. And then transition. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to transition with the Stinger this time because, yeah.
Just try out all the
right.
bells
Yeah,
and
trying
whistles.
out all the bells and whistles.
Yeah. Sterling gave me a pretty good game when I played him at the Bagby.
How'd you do?
I ended up winning the game.
Okay.
It was more positional understanding that I think he needed to work on.
Okay. So let's see. Interact. Okay, so let's see this game. Well, he's certainly having a good run in this tournament. 5-0.
5-0. 5 out of 5 isn't bad.
Yeah. I mean, you know. Yeah. So let's see. This game is progressing in sort of orthodox fashion here.
Nothing super abnormal here.
And that move kind of makes sense to trade off those bishops. I mean,
challenging Black's
you could also play
bishop.
H3 and just not move the same piece twice.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to try to
But
get you in
otherwise,
the. I'm going to try
What
to
is
get you.
I mean, otherwise, what's the bishop doing on G5?
Well,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe it should never have moved there in the first place, but that's hard to say.
Yeah.
Okay. And White goes super aggressive by castling on the queen side, and
here
Black
comes the pawn storm,
naturally.
yeah.
And that is a nice shot, which I think Black overlooked.
It's a free pawn.
It's and
more?
so knight B5 is a mistake, and so Black should
If they want to go out with that
maybe
idea,
play bishop F4 or A5 or something like that.
Or if they really want to play B5, play A6 first.
A6 looks too slow to me, but White's going to play G4. But White sees this nice little move, and suddenly Black is in very serious trouble. He has to play this, and then he finds himself a pawn down and gives up another pawn.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not really, because of rook C8. All right. And bishop goes back that way. I might have gone back to G3 to cover the F2 square.
Well, how is it? It's just not going to be able to get back in the game easily with the pawns on D4 and E3.
Yeah, but it covers, I mean, it's sort of in the game and also controls the C7 square. It's not...
And maybe he has the right idea here with playing B3. He can get his king to B2, and it's going to be safe.
Black redeploys the knight, and White keeps some control over some center squares. So all we can say is that White's just much better here. He's a pawn up, and Black is... needs to resort to these kind of measures here. Otherwise, and this is a good way for White to play too, increasing his pressure over there. So Black is trying to drum up a little play here. Knight F6 and Knight D7 looks really strong, and then threatening Knight B6 maybe. I think his position is close to loss for Black. He's a pawn down, and he's in trouble. Okay. Let's move on back up to board one, all the way back up to board one. And, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to go to some position where we were at before. Bishop F3. Yeah, we were here. We were around here. Now, one thing I'll tell you about Stearman, whatever this game is right now, objectively for Black or for White, Stearman is in really good form. He's playing a lot. I mean, Elliott's playing a lot too, but Stearman's playing very confidently and winning a lot of games, and part of that has to do with a player being in form. Coffee to kombucha. Yeah, Elliot. Yeah, so everybody's looking at Elliot up there in the far. Yeah, there he is. I guess he has bishop c6 and rook f5. I don't think white has much here, but I mean, there's some nagging idea of playing on the d6 pawn, but black is awfully active as well. I mean, I don't like either player's position that much. And that puts the question maybe to the h3 pawn. And also invites a repetition with rook g5. And considering Hosei's position in the tournament, maybe rook g5 is a good move, and just to play for and Hosei's playing for some tricks here too. I think maybe like on rook g5, if black tried bishop h6, remember back here. Right here. What if black had played bishop h6? I guess bishop e5 and rook takes e5, but there's also maybe rook takes e5. And if bishop f4, I don't know. Maybe just bishop e5 check and rook takes e5. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just and so let's see. What's uptime? Does anybody know what these things mean?
No.
Uptime. Yeah.
Moobot's just letting us know how long
And Moobot is just is a
friendly counter.
A robot. Okay. Okay, so he's inviting repetition. All right, I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's go to board 2. And let's come back here. He played knight g6, and I thought that this was starting to go very well for white. But let's see what happens. Black plays knight d5, threatening queen takes g6 at the very least. And white plays bishop g5. So if cd5, knight b5, this looks like it's maybe gone bad for black. He's losing the exchange. White decides not to play knight takes c7 here, which looks like it wins a rook.
Yeah.
I guess black can play knight f6, knight f6, and then I mean, you got bishop h3, but that's just one move. I'm a little
Maybe the idea is
I'm a little at a loss
to
here.
restrict the light squared bishop more after the queen moves, because the bishop's going to stay there. It's going to be taken anyway.
Okay.
But,
all right. Okay.
Well,
no, you've got a point there. I mean, this is the thing is that black has bishop b7 here.
Yeah.
And then he's just down the exchange, which is bad enough. But what happens if he had played knight takes c7, and then black has some nebulous attack? I mean, maybe knight f6.
I don't see I don't see enough for an attack.
If knight f6, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no. Let's see. Knight f6. If knight e8, then knight takes e8, and then you're threatening bishop h3, and the queens are still on the board. Maybe f5 is good because it's going to take the queens off the board. Okay. And it eliminates the bishop h3 idea. Okay. All right, so I see.
Yeah, but even with the bishop h3 idea, I think if you just move the dark square bishop anywhere, you're fine.
Well,
Because-
go back one. Let's go back one thing. I'm trying to win a whole. I'm trying to get super greedy.
Yeah.
Knight c7, knight f6.
Six.
All right. So what about knight takes a8? Then bishop h3 threatens mate and threatens rook takes a8. So the queens stay on the board. Black recovers the exchange. Is down the exchange, and maybe so white plays for the endgame, and I can understand that. Black has to do this
Yeah,
now.
because
So he has bishop b7 is the
Yeah.
only way to avoid going a whole rook down,
Okay.
and that's why Black does this.
And even with that bishop on a6, it's not doing.
Well, Black has some
Oh.
chances here by blockading, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a little difficult for White.
Yeah. But it's White's game to lose now.
And sometimes these games you have to sacrifice the exchange back on c6 or something. But
Yeah.
this is some tough defense by Shriram.
I'm starting to actually like the knight on d7
Yeah.
because it's taking away c5.
Yeah,
Where you
and
tried to-
White's probably going to is going to toy with the idea of playing rook to c1 and rook takes c6 at some point. But he can also, bring the king into, needs to bring the king up, and maybe he's also got the idea of playing a pawn storm on the king side. Bruce Ricard, let's go back one little, because Bruce on Twitch is saying that I guess on knight c7, knight f6, knight, I'm not sure.
And then he's pinned.
But bishop h3, king h1, and rook c8. I'm not sure what variation that actually is, so I'm going to just move
So you
on
meant
here.
f6. I don't know.
Oh, okay, knight f6. Oops. Should I go oops? No, so knight f6. Let's see. Knight c7, knight f6. No, okay.
Don't be aligned with the.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
now
I'm
we
not
should
an infallible analyst by any means, and I'm just trying to find some very simple, sort of straight lines. That's all I'm trying to do here, and I don't have computers to help me. Okay, let's go to this game. Okay, so we were back here, knight h2. And Black got real radical on us, folks. Instead of playing rook a f8, he plays f5, and of course White's going to take that and play his knight to this beautiful square. Black's playing a completely different strategy than the one I had thought of. And that's a nice, simple move. And White has some positional trumps here. Black has the weak a pawn though to aim at, which he does, and White defends, and Black takes still goings for the a pawn, and the very consistent play here. King c8, queen g6. Okay, threatening the bishop at f6. So Black finds it necessary to do this. Now is Black in trouble? If bishop g7, knight h5, and then maybe knight e8.
Yeah.
That's a passed pawn at bishop g7, knight h5, knight e8. Black has to find a way to stop this pawn.
Knight
Bishop g7.
knight h5.
I guess knight h5, knight e8.
Because you're forcing your opponent to do something just never pleasant.
Well, also that's the best I can do is
Yeah.
look at forcing moves.
Yeah. So knight h5, bishop or knight e8.
And black looks like
Don't
he
you
might
just
be
lose a pawn
holding.
here?
Yeah, but remember there's that pawn at a4 holding.
Yeah.
If black,
But you're getting some compensation.
yeah, this is not clear. I think, or it doesn't look that clear. White can get the pawn at h6, but then he's going to have trouble making that pawn
Going
at
to-
g6 move anywhere without the help of a rook. And black is going to be very fast if he can play rook a4 and rook a4 and then ba4, and try to muscle in quickly with the a pawn. This is not easy. This is not easy.
Knight h5, g7.
Yeah, knight h5, knight e8. That's what we're looking at, folks. Okay.
What about as an in between there? So knight h5, knight e8, and then play rook to e1.
On king g7 maybe, and king g7.
King d7. If you exchange the knight on h5 for g7, the knight has to recapture.
And then play knight f6 check.
Knight f6 or knight e5. Yeah. Well, knight f.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks.
Now we're getting a little far.
No. Yeah. This is black. Looks like he's close to holding here. Okay, so let's go to the Russell Wong Ethan Boldy game. Let's go back to here, I think, or when White played Queen a4.
Yeah,
Okay. So black found King h7. So I guess if Queen c6, Rook e6, and Rook. Oh no, what happens here? If maybe Rook takes e3, is that possible? Okay, so I'm a greedy player. I always ask myself, the first question I always ask myself is why doesn't he take the material? So Queen c6, maybe Rook takes e3, and if Rook takes e3, Queen d4. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a little messy.
Okay.
So you can't take c6.
Queen c6, Rook e3, Rook e3,
Queen times d4.
Queen d4, and if Queen a8, Queen e3 check, and Queen e2, and Rook g1, and Knight takes f3. I mean, I don't know. Does black get to draw, maybe? This is a tough one. Queen c6, Rook e3, Rook e3, Queen d4, Queen a8, Queen e3 check, King h1, Queen e2, Rook g1, Knight f3, and that's a draw by perpetual check. Maybe they didn't want to draw by perpetual check.
Yeah. So.
All right, that's my analysis, and I'm
Yeah.
sticking
Well,
to it.
they played another move. Didn't
Oh, they did? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
They played more
they played
moves.
more
I'm
moves.
sorry. Bishop f2 was played instead. Thanks for
they?
pointing that
no
out.
problem.
Queen f4.
So the
And
time
now
control.
he takes
Somebody asked the time control. It's game in 120 with a 5-second delay.
game into, yeah, there you go. And we're live streaming from the oldest chess club in the United States, the oldest Mechanics Institute Chess Club.
Is Nick doing the adult beginner class on Wednesday night?
Yes, he is.
So,
And
what time is that at?
That's at 5:30 till about 7 o'clock. And I teach a class on Thursday with some of the overlapping interests and players at 5:30 on Thursdays,
So,
except for the last Wednesday and Thursday of the month. Are you looking for
I was
some?
gonna type that in here, but I don't know if I have that capability.
Well, I think if we just say it, that's
Yeah.
good enough. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so queen did take c6, rook times e1.
Okay, so you did it this way, and black is in trouble, maybe. You're welcome, Frisco. Yeah, white is taking the money and running here. Black is looking for opportunity.
So why do you think he just played rookie 8? I don't know if I love
Well, knight c5, maybe. We can, knight f4, maybe.
Knight F4.
He's searching for cheapos. It's like searching for Bobby Fischer.
Yeah, but I mean, if the knight moves anywhere, the rook's.
Yeah.
Why would you put your own rook in a pin if you don't have an immediate check or?
Let's see.
Well, sorry,
Knight f4.
Knight F4
But
works.
then queen g2, maybe. Oh no, knight h3 check.
Yeah.
So knight f4, the queen can go back to d1 or something like that.
F1, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Rookie 8 looks a little bit strange, but black is maybe not feeling so great after losing
C6 pawn.
the c6 pawn, and although that was a double pawn, there might be, it's not easy for white, and also white's in time trouble.
Yeah, 18 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, and we only have delay. We don't have increments, and so there's. Once you get down to 18 minutes, you're never going to go back.
Never recover. How does the audience feel of delay versus increment? How do you feel as a player playing increment versus delay?
I prefer playing with increment, but I'm not sure about delay. Is there FIDE regulations about delay? Can you play increment? Could we hold a TNM as an increment term?
Oh yeah.
So that's an interesting question.
Oh yeah. We can hold an increment or delay. Either way, it has to be a certain number of hours combined total.
I got you.
Right. So when we do 2 hours with the 5-second increment, the 5-second increment adds up, right?
Pretty quickly.
And I think they base it on like 60 moves or something like that. And then so that's why. So we now here's my experience with the increment. So the minimum time control, it depends on the increment. So kind of a standard tournament that we're used to is a game in 90 minutes with 30-second increment. That could be FIDE rated. The problem with the increment is that, so the Addison tournament, we had G90 plus 30 increment. A lot of those games ended actually under 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But
you just need one to go over the time.
I've TD'd many G90 plus 30 tournaments where the game was almost 5 hours.
Okay.
Well, even from my experience playing in the Pan Ams, some of those games go 5-6 hours.
Okay.
They could
It's
even
game
go,
at 90. You can,
Okay.
and that's
And we can't do that here at the Mechanics.
Yeah,
we'll get kicked out.
yeah, because you run the risk that
Yeah.
you could go well over.
Yeah, and it would just take one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody's saying that they like the variety, and other people are saying that there was one standard.
But I think this is an interesting conversation, especially if we have chess players viewing in. Like, what is their preference? What do they think?
And this is great, but the thing is we do this marathon, a game in 2 hours, 5-second delay. It's always going to have to be that way because we have to get out of
Exit
here by
the building.
10:30, 10:45, right?
11.
But we've run a tournament, like we said, we did the G90 plus 30 the weekend. That was actually our largest event of the year. We had like 90 people.
Is the U.S. the only country using the delay, or we have a question here?
That's hard to believe that we would be, but
I think it's becoming newer to use the increment. But I think, like you said, we have the time constraint here where we have to use the delay.
Yeah,
can't go over that time. And
this is in 2 hours, 5 delay. I think is the minimum for a delay for it to be FIDE rated. I don't know what the normal is for the other countries, whether increment or delay.
Yeah, and growing up and playing
it
chess,
actually seems to me that in other countries, especially Europe, increment is more the standard.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more and more popular around the world, and more places are using increment in the U.S.
Yeah.
Growing up and playing in the U.S., I was so used to delay that this is kind of still new to me. Fisher delay reviewers.
Okay.
Which Super GM tournament
punishes players?
Yeah, the super. You're talking about at the Sinkfeld Cup in the Fisher random, right? They're using delay, and the top players are actually got kind of confused. They're used to playing with increment. I think with in the rapid.
All of the.
All of them got confused with the delay versus increment at that tournament.
Not just Fisher random,
Yeah.
Fisher delay.
I don't know.
What
for
is-
sure delay.
yeah.
It's 5-second delay. I think it's just a
Is
regular
it?
5-second delay. But let me look that up because I'd actually be surprised if it was.
Most of them. Okay. Well, anyway, it's an interesting question. Russell Wong has offered the exchange of queens, and we're still waiting on that game.
30-second delay.
Let's move on.
Somebody shared.
Yeah, 30.
That's an interesting delay.
30 seconds. That's.
But isn't that just with the Fisher random, or no?
Yeah, that's what they're saying with the Fisher
Yeah.
random, because most of the tournaments are increment.
Yeah,
Right.
because that's a long delay.
We'll even,
Thank you.
I'll watch streams of super tournaments, and at
They're-
the end of the round, some of the the broadcast doesn't keep up with the clock on the board.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes it'll look like these super grandmasters will run out of
Run out of time. Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
they're getting 30 seconds.
Yeah,
back.
they're playing increment, and the top players are used to playing increment.
It has to be.
It's only at Sinkfeld in St. Louis with these random tournaments that they're playing. They're getting confused
Yeah, the random
and
tournaments.
running out of
So
time.
they're
Yeah. Let's see what's happening with the asking. This is kind of a complicated game here. Bishop d7, rook b1, rook b8. Both players are playing on the queen side. And so we have a little combination here.
difference. When I was 30 seconds delay.
What is AFAIK an acronym for?
It was it was G130 with 30-second delay.
That was the
The
Fisher
normal.
random, or was that's the normal?
The
No, they're
nor-
switching
That's the regular tournament.
to delay.
In St. Louis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
G130, 30-second.
And that's why we're being asked is delay
Yeah, Grantchester.
only in the U.S. because in other countries they're not using this.
And I think maybe
As far as I know. Thanks,
it-
Bruce.
It's not.
AFAIK
like,
is as far as I know.
and maybe they wanted the certain time. They wanted the round to finish in a certain time.
Yeah, and that could be.
There you go.
To keep people that are viewing in. They're not sitting there for 6 hours.
Broadcast,
Yeah.
Okay.
And even I know Maurice Ashley was complaining about how long some of the games went.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's not even playing.
He's not always broadcasting. He wants to get out.
It was actually typical for us. I remember at the People's Tournament, actually, like 2-3 years ago, I was working one of the rounds, and it was the late round in the evening, and all the games were done except for one game. And then that game lasted well over an hour after all the other games were done.
Maurice had hot takes.
There were always games in tournaments that I remember that went on much longer, and it was because there were there would be an adjournment, and then there would be second and third time controls.
No.
Yeah, there were
No,
there
thank
were
you.
games that went for like 8 hours, and stuff like that. There'd be several different time scrambles in one game. There could be like the first 40 moves in
Yeah.
2 hours, then 20 moves in an hour,
Well,
and then there'll be
there-
3 time scrambles
There
in one
was
game.
a game in a G40 tournament that we had. It was in the first round where they had played. They stopped notating because they were under 5 minutes, both of them. But they had played what had to have been 150, 160 moves. Because they played about 40 moves, and then there was an exchange. And then it was like a knight bishop trying to mate. And so that game played out for 20-25 minutes where both players played on the delay.
Yeah.
So like no time was like going off the clock.
Right.
And then Then when it got complicated, then they used the time, right? So,
Right.
But imagine what would have happened if that was a
Increment.
30-second increment.
Yeah.
State champions 7 to 8 hour.
Yeah, it could be, right? Because if you get that many moves with 30-second increment, you could end up where
Yeah, or if it's a relatively easy end game where you can bank some time.
and then now you go into the tank and you have like an extra
You have an extra
40
15
minutes
minutes or whatever. yeah.
Increment is great in blitz when
When it's 3+2.
when it's 3+2 or something
No, of
where
course,
you're
sure,
playing
yeah. because
somebody.
you can actually finish.
The games look more real than they
Yeah.
used to, because it used to be somebody would just try to play somebody off the clock.
Oh yeah, just 5
and,
straight.
and yeah, like 5 minutes straight, and so on and so forth. Increment has been a real boon to blitz games. I'm not sure about the regular time
Yeah,
control.
I like watching the 3-2 and things like that.
Yeah.
But
And the 3, by reducing it from 5,
Yeah.
it adds
It's a
value to
little
that
more.
too.
Yeah, it does. It's
And
like
our-
an ideal time
Our
control.
Blitz Championship next October is 3+2.
Yeah, that's gonna the California State Blitz
Shameless
Championship.
plug. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that's
The
okay.
California State Blitz Championship here at the Mechanics
Right here.
Institute.
Right here.
It's coming up.
So where is it this year? Then?
We
If it's
are the ones that brought
Here?
Rapid
Yeah.
and Blitz.
Yeah, the Rapid and Blitz state championships.
Made it cool.
Yeah.
And
so when is that in October?
26, 27.
Or is 26 and 27 not 27th and 28th?
So on
26 and 27.
26 and
26th
27th.
is the
Okay.
Saturday.
Why are you
27th is
trying
Sunday.
to
No, no,
monkey
no.
wrench into it?
Somebody's a
I find
Frisco
that
kid is asking, are we going to
We're gonna
broadcast it?
Yeah.
You bet your
Having fun.
bibby.
Yeah, well, I found the
It will
cheapest
be
flight I've ever
broadcast
seen.
with,
So,
Paul
Maybe
Whitehead
like this,
and Nick DeFermi.
flight.
Yeah, Nick and I are going
yeah,
to just rip through it.
I'm like, yeah,
A quick question. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to move on here to the game, I guess,
that's okay.
with
Yes,
Are we
we
gonna
are going
broadcast
to
the
go.
Blitz?
Of course.
David Askin
So
Of course.
versus Natalia Sedikova. This looks like it wins a pawn. Nice little mini combination here. If Queen C4, Bishop Bishop A4,
yeah. Yeah. So
and then if
are you
Queen
gonna
A4,
commentate the Blitz.
Bishop takes B2.
Yeah.
They asked if that'd be tough.
Yeah, but I mean, I think with the Blitz commentating, we will probably employ a different strategy. We're gonna probably
Like not use Paul?
Well,
Yeah,
no,
please.
use Paul.
Thank you.
Employ a different strategy.
Well, we together with Claude, we're gonna choose a different strategy, right? And let's see.
What strategy are we going to use for a blitz? We have never commented on
yeah,
a blitz.
I would suggest trying to
Well, what are-
pick one board
Yeah.
for one round.
What
and
would you
then-
guys like to see if
Or
we're gonna
2 or 3, maybe
broadcast the
Yeah,
5
because
boards.
you won't have too much time to kind of switch.
Just
between
move that mouse.
boards, right?
Right?
But rather just pick one interesting setup and then see if you can.
Well, we need to see if we can also keep up with the games. Like with we should practice with blitz with our DGT boards and see if
Actually, we should practice it
if they keep up.
and
Someday when-
see if Paul,
If I can keep up,
Yeah.
I
you know,
keep.
if he's up to it.
I'm not
we
up.
finish
He may
up
not.
right, right?
He may not be the right person to call the blitz. Right?
Who do
We
you
don't
think
know.
should call the blitz?
Huh?
Who do you think should call the blitz?
Call the blitz.
Perhaps Paul should take some auctioneering lessons.
Perfect. Did you turn in the sheet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, congratulations.
Like that?
I haven't
Hey,
really
let's,
got
why don't we bring him in and talk through the game?
Well, now
my
we gotta see it.
fitness, My
Yeah.
fitness.
Well, now
as
we
a-
got to see it.
Why don't we
So-
bring him in?
Yeah, you want to,
Hey.
guy.
Just yell out, guy. Do you want to talk about your game?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, we've just shanghaied Guy Argo, who was playing on board 8, and you were absolutely murdered him out of the opening. I'm not sure what.
He was supposed to be a D4 player. I was quite surprised.
Let's see what happened here. Let's just go back to the beginning. This is Guy Argo, not Andrew Schlee. And I'll take Andrew's name off of there with extreme taking him off, or if I can find his name. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Sometimes I do.
Is it rating or alphabetical?
It's there's a lot of names on here. A lot. There it is. Boom. Okay. I'm here with Guy Argo. I can't put your name up, but that's okay. All right, Guy, tell me what was going on here. His name is on here? Oh. All right, I'll let you find it. This is Guy Argo, race car driver, and all-around Tuesday night marathon participant. You're doing pretty well on this. You decided to play up, right? I mean, you're Ostrovsky's an expert, right? When are you going to become an expert and get your rating up there? You've got the competitive spirit. Oh. Okay. All right. We're typing your name in. We're going to get your name in there no matter what. We've decided. We're seeing how fast we can do it. Yeah.
What's number? 36?
I think it's
36.
Yeah. Okay. Guy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, got it.
Oh, just out. Thank you.
Look at this. We are just like
Oh.
doing it on the fly.
Name and lights.
Yeah. Here, I got it. I got it. Hold on a second. Boom, boom.
Little bit up with the arrows.
Yeah.
These are arrows.
Production quality.
Look at this, Guy. You're seeing it in action. Okay.
Then, like it. Transition. Oh.
Look at that. And look at that. Did you see? Look at. All right, Guy Argo.
So he usually plays D4 and he played E4, so I suspected that he'd prepared something.
Okay.
So I tried it at one of my blitz openings. I never play this.
I think I have to transition also to the GGT board. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so
I don't even remember what this is called. Is
this is a center counter.
Yeah, I know that, but I think Bishop G4 is like the Portuguese or something.
You know, you got me. I mean, you could play Knight D5, but this is, yeah, somebody said that they knew what this, somebody's asking, do you race MX5s?
I track MX5s, I race E30s.
Okay, there you have your answer. It's called the Icelandic Gambit.
Yeah, I think that might be right. I think, or to say it's like, yeah. It is a gambit, yep.
Bishop H5 looks possible.
And he
too.
goes greedy on me here. He just tries to grab onto the pawn.
Right.
So I remember E6, and then pawn takes, bishop check, then queen E7, and this is as far as I know book-wise. I was surprised by king F2, but I guess I was like, just castle.
I like the spirit of your play here, I think. And white definitely goes off the rail. This move is.
He moves his only
losing
developed
move.
piece twice.
Yeah, this is Knight D5 has got to be.
That's got to be a lemon.
Move.
He's got to develop here.
Yeah.
I mean, if he
Bishop D3 or something.
If he cashes the pawn in F7, I get a half open F file. If he doesn't, I'll take the pawn and have E6 and still have the half open F file.
Yeah.
So he's got a tough decision. You got to be careful with Bishop G5 because there's like
Knight G4
there's Knight G4 and Knight E5 silliness going on. I was kind of looking forward to that actually.
Or Bishop G5. Yeah, you could play F takes E6 too.
No, I think Bishop G5. I would immediately play Knight G4 check.
But then can he play F takes G4?
But then you've got bishop takes pawn check with the
Well, wait a minute.
Oh no! I don't have the F file open. You're right.
Yeah, you don't have that quite.
No, you're right.
Place.
So I would play F
Maybe
takes
the
F takes E and set that up.
But this is bad. You can't keep moving the same piece. And now this is just probably close to you. You could look this up on the engines, but
He's got to be close to
he keeps
busted here.
Yeah.
And he thinks,
That's losing. I'm
and then I
sure.
just bring my last piece into play and smile.
Yeah.
And now I just get my... So here I was playing for a little trick. If he plays bishop d2, I've got an instant chop. And I think I'm just better. But so I just
I see.
I just repeat. And then now I play the move that if he doesn't fall for the cheapo. So...
White has one piece developed, and you have all of your pieces.
all of my
developed.
PCs.
Somebody looked this up on the computer and said it was -11. So that says to me that Black has a forced win.
So, yeah. So if he played Queen E2 here, Bishop F3 is a bust. Bishop F3, Bishop F3 is mate.
Queen E7, Rook D1,
Yeah.
mate. Nice, very nice.
So I saw that much.
Yeah, look at that. And
then-
G takes F3, then Queen H4 check.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. So that's what I was
But
licking my
it's
lips
not
for.
surprising.
So Bishop E2, and I was getting a little short in time. So I was like, if I just exchange off on the E file, he's dropping a piece.
That's good thinking. That's good thinking.
Because
Yeah,
look at these rooks.
it's beautiful.
Doink, doink.
Yeah,
And so he's got a spite check,
but that's it.
and then B5,
Yeah, you could rookie. I see B5.
because I want to get him off the.
Yeah,
I want to get him off.
get him ready for knight F3 check, right? Yeah. Ooh.
Done.
Yeah. Very, very good game. Forceful. Daniel Perloff says, "Can we put this on the newsletter?"
Sure.
Yeah, well, it'll get in the newsletter one way or the other. How much are you gonna pay us? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't.
No, Nick will analyze it for the newsletter for sure. Or you can. You're always welcome to. People are always welcome to submit their annotated games.
Oh,
to the newsletter.
I probably will.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much to it actually. I think he, like you say, knight D5 was just atrocious, and then he's just bust after that.
Yeah, he just took too many liberties, and I have to admit, I've gone down the rabbit hole that White went down in this game too, of like just following, just somehow hoping against hope that I could hold on to my extra pawn or whatever, and losing my objectivity, and then getting crushed. And that's what seemed to happen here. Good game, man.
Thanks.
All right. Beautiful game. Should be, a game of the week. Wow. Yeah, disrespecting the center counter game. Center counter is not something that we want to do. All right, I'm going to take Guy Argo's name off of here because he's no longer here, and transition over to just me, myself, and I. And here, all alone in the office. At the winding down the 6th round of the Tuesday night marathon, and that was a nice game by Guy Argo. Let's go back up to Natalia's game. We were here. We're going to take and this is exactly what's happened, is Black has won the exchange. Black has won a pawn, but it's not clear. Bishops of opposite colors, and queen takes a6. Maybe coming. Okay. All right, we'll move on to Tenzing Shaw and Michael Walder, two masters. And rook takes f3. Michael sacrifices the exchange and plays e5. He's extremely aggressive. White throws in the rook check, and it's not clear who's getting mated here. That opens the way for bishop g8 check. What a game. Oh, that's a nice move, I think. if king d6, rook takes f6 check. It looks like Michael Walder is close to busted here. Rook g8, queen g8 is the only move. Then king g6. I think this has gone south for black here, who played with his like he was on fire, but now he's getting yeah, and pawn takes pawn check, winning the queen is also possible coming up here as well. This is Tenzing Shaw's got this in the bag, I think. Thanks for joining us, Bruce, on Twitch, by the way, and everybody else who's joined us. It's been a wild evening here with all kinds of funny things going on and funny chess games. Let's go back to this game. Black played rook e8 after bishop a3. This is the top board in the AB section, and this is looking extremely grim for black here. Who's a pawn down, and let's go right here. I was going through this rather quickly, but he's a pawn down, he's tied up, he's white's. Black tries to move his bishop, but gets hit with this, and black uses a little tactic to get out. White plays rook takes, bishop takes, knight e5 check, more tactics. And that knight e5, and now the knight is supported by the pawn, and white is much better here, if not winning.
Somebody was asking if we did like a game of the week. Isn't that in the newsletter? They annotate some of the games. Those games.
They annotate them, but it's not like specifically
Game of the week.
Game of the week or whatever.
Yeah.
Game of the week. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
We could feature that though, I guess.
Yeah. Black.
Well,
This bishop's
add a
of
title to one of the games that Nick likes the best.
this. Yeah. For example. Yeah.
They do every game, not a game of the week. Yes. But Nick annotates
It's
around
pawn.
10 games, something like that.
How many games is that are annotated out of there? I mean,
it varies.
it varies.
5 to
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the games.
So you get more than one game of the week.
Yeah, we have lots of games of the week.
Yeah.
If black can eliminate all the pawns on the queen side, he might be able to hold us. And it's it's not going to be completely easy for white to win this. But I like white's chances. Not easy though. Okay, let's go to the last game on. Oh, and it ended in a checkmate.
Wow.
All right, let's see. He did play my move, knight f6 check, king g7, and knight d7, threatening knight b6. And let's see how this game ended. Rook d8, knight c5, white's getting a dominant, and that wins a piece.
Yeah.
And so this game is really, it's academic here. Black plays on, and white does a little.
Oh,
Yeah.
sacks the rook for mate. There you go.
Very nice from Sterling Albury.
I think he's 6-0.
He's 6-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's 2 pawns up every game starts.
We're gonna have to
With just tattoos.
pair him with Monster or something.
Yeah.
The champions of the leaders of.
Okay.
Well,
So a nicely finished game. In fact, a pretty nice game by white all around.
that one
This game.
prize for the Marshall game. Whoever wins the section gets one of the spots.
No, we got that figured out.
I don't know.
Oh, so do we? can we get a little hint about the lineup for the not yet.
You cannot at the moment.
Okay.
Although we just got 2 confirmations.
What if I put my hand over the mic?
And they're like reading your lips.
But then they can go on like chess base. And,
Yeah.
oh,
So we wanted to have a good representative lineup of like mechanics club players.
We're talking about the match versus the Marshall.
Right.
Okay.
October 8th.
Yeah.
October 8th. Wow, I'm so excited.
So we have our lineup of 10 that we're looking, and 2 of them we just spoke to. They've agreed to it very, very enthusiastically.
All right.
So
One of them said he didn't even have to convince me.
but I
That's so
said,
good.
but I said I did it anyway just to be sure.
So we're getting like a cross section of club players, right? Yeah.
Club
So
players.
2 from under 23, 2 from under 20.
Okay.
23.
And we want a nice representation, right? We want like so it's Abel and Judith. You guys are gonna play right now.
So, cross section of just mechanics regulars,
Yeah.
of some that some people that may be among the top youth in the country that play regularly. I'm not opening that door obviously because that's not a good practice that
No.
we want to do. Yeah, I think we have a very dynamic group. Yeah,
Very cool.
I'm looking forward to it.
Doc Siebel, where do you live? Just curious, because we've had people from, Portugal and
That's the
Brazil. What?
that's our farthest so far.
I think Portugal and Brazil. Do you guys remember any places that people have gotten?
Istanbul,
Brussels from Stockton.
Turkey.
Stockton. Wow, Stockton. That's really far away.
Yeah, well, that's Judith.
Well, I mean, even in my short time here, I've seen people visit from Spain and Italy.
You visit the club.
Visit the club, yeah.
But I'm talking about
Oh,
the
the stream.
broadcast, the stream. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure where people are
Yeah,
watching us from.
Far distance of Wisconsin. A couple
Yeah.
people. I did have a student who's around 11 years old watch
Okay.
this, so that's a little too late for him.
That's really cool.
So I almost had to tell his mom that he was staying up too late. Because he messaged me on chess.com like, oh, Coach Andrew, I saw you on the mechanics stream.
Oh, that's so
And
fun.
it's like, buddy, it's like 11:30 and you're 10 years old, you need to go to bed.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so Daniel Perlov on Twitch says his dad won. He's watching his dad play chess here. Let's go back to board 1 here. We have we left off at this position with Stearman and Winslow and Rook G5. There was a draw offer was made by Elliott and refused by Hosea, who plays King G3. And we'll see if that is justified or not. Bishop D5,
Gets back to
Rook takes D5, and Elliott plays Rook takes F4. Interesting. So Hosea has got to take, and then Bishop H6, and has probably the white bishop at F3 needs to. Rook takes D6. Okay. Attacking. Okay, let's go back here. This attacks the bishop at H6. So if knight takes F3, rook takes H6, knight takes G5, king takes G5, and white's up a pawn.
what if rook goes F8 here?
Then king takes E5.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So in other words, white can afford to give something back here, and that's exactly what happens. It does it this way.
What if they do rook F8, take, we'd be in this position anyway, and it would be...
That's a very good move. Look at that move. Rook
Yeah.
F8 threatens the bishop
But if-
and threatens bishop F4
yeah,
check.
but if he would have played it before, would it have
Rook
been more
D3.
forcing?
Let's see.
If he plays
Okay,
Well-
so rook takes D6.
Yep.
Rook F8 check.
If he takes
King takes E5.
bishop takes,
G5, and we're at the same
we're in the
exact
same position.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's white's move, yeah.
So, okay. And bishop G4. He doesn't play rook G3.
Doesn't that just... lose the exchange.
What happens? Is rook d3 a bad move for some reason? Oh, c4. Pawn c4. Look at that. So Josiah is forced to give up the exchange. But he has a very powerful passed pawn at e5. And there's also the threat of king takes c5. So this is a very dramatic situation. Bring the king in as fast as possible. E5.
So you have to catch him on that dark square.
I like this is probably looking like a win for black unless white can force this pawn in. King e7. That looks
You're getting in your own pawn's way.
Yeah, but he has to play he has to try to play king d8, and in other words, if he plays e6,
Yeah.
what happens if he plays e6?
Well, I mean that takes the black king out of the game.
If e6, king f6, and if e7, rook d2 check.
Okay, so he's got to get the. So he has to stop the king on g7.
Frisco, I am rooting for the old guys too for some reason, but I'm not going to tell you why. Yeah. So white. This looks desperate almost on white's part. King e7.
Yeah.
Because.
So you're black. Can't they just clean up some pawns?
Yeah. I mean. Okay. So. Elliot's thinking.
Yeah. So there's got to be something here. What about here for white, then going bishop to
So, what happened? Oh, okay. So,
bishop d7, so then the king can get to d8, and you can just
yeah, and then
walk
you can
the pawn.
try to power the pawn in. But if you go black can still play king f6 and rook e2 or something.
Yeah.
This is I have a feeling only the silicon genius is going to be able to tell us what's actually going on here. But this looks bad for white. It's just the king going in that direction is very strange. But I think Josiah has figured out that he's got to keep the black king out. I mean, if nothing else, that's what he has to do. And possibly Elliot's overthinking this. I mean, you've got it looks like he has to play rook takes b2 here. All right, dramatic game. Winslow might win. Yeah, he might. Let's take a look at this game where black was trying to get a blockade and was down the exchange. We were this far,
but we were past this,
yeah, we were past this. We were about here. And black is just trying to keep the position blockaded. And white's advancing his king up as far as possible. He's going to try to play g5. Probably winning for white, especially since black has just played. Yeah. I think black is lost. We're close to it.
Yeah, especially with all of it. Black's pieces sitting on the queen side.
So just playing passively was probably not strong enough, and it's possible that playing f6 was a mistake.
Did they have anything that they could have played then? Because I noticed the rook moved back and forth for black a few times.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is black just stood his ground. But it's possible that black should not have played f6, although that's tempting because you want to play king f7 and your king is trapped in this whole mess. But
if you don't play f6, what do you play in this position?
Well, you pass, and white
Just have the rook play back and
This
forth.
is Gary Kasparov is calling me again. Hi. Okay, well, I'm still at the mechanics doing my broadcast.
So you can say hello to.
Say hello to everybody.
We hear that inside there.
Okay.
Okay.
God, phone down.
All right. I gotta turn my phone off. Okay. Bye, sweetheart.
Wow.
She
Gary Kasparov.
She forgot what day it was.
Okay, so
That's
Gary Kasparov is your sweetheart.
Is my sweetheart. No, that wasn't Gary Kasparov. That was my girlfriend calling me. She forgot it was Tuesday. And
At least you have a really nice girlfriend who calls you. That's good. It's very nice.
She wanted me to actually. She forgot what she was saying. Usually, I meet her after her class,
Oh, okay.
but today I can't meet her because I'm doing this broadcast.
Right.
So I apologize
So
to
you're a
everybody.
gentleman and walk your girlfriend home. That's very, very nice.
Well, I meet her, on the bus.
We always joke
I'm
with my
not sure
chess
that
coach
I-
growing up that I don't remember which Polgar, but he was unmarried, and we were always joking that we were going to set him up with a Polgar, and one of the Polgars came to a Super Nationals, I want to say in 2005 or 2009, and we tried to get him to meet her, and he wouldn't. He was too embarrassed. So
Well, hopefully Susan will be coming to the mechanics soon.
Yeah.
She hasn't been here, so.
Oh, there. She
Oh,
should
really?
visit. Yeah.
She should.
This is
So
the-
next time when she's here, which will probably maybe will be on November.
She's
so
been
we'll
here
see.
before.
She has?
She
Okay.
played. Didn't she play in a chess tournament here, or was it Sophia?
Maybe, I
I
don't know.
think it was Sophia.
Yeah.
I should know.
Yeah.
There was an international tournament here with Tall.
Okay, then it
Yeah.
must have been Susan then. Yeah. I don't think Sophia played too much.
Yeah.
Too many tournaments.
Okay.
who's on like the dream list for the mechanics to bring in? Who's like on the dream list that we haven't had?
We haven't had any world champions after Karpov. Abel.
So we need Magnus or
Abel.
Vichy here.
There's been no world champions have visited here since Karpov.
So you're asking what am I going to do about that?
I'm just looking at you.
So, yeah.
We had Huya Fan here.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you have a world champion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you stand corrected.
I correct myself. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm saying is that maybe Black shouldn't have played f6, and yes, Sophia played the 1995 Pan Pacific with Korchnoi
Okay.
here. So was Sophia.
Was
And
that the
that's
one that
Tall?
Patrick?
Not Tall. Yeah,
Patrick
I think
played too?
Patrick. Well, Patrick played in the one with Tall. I'm not sure he played in that one.
Because
Yeah, there were- there were-
cultures used to have that picture
There were
where they all looking up.
Yeah, that's on our website. That's on the video
Yeah.
too, and yeah.
Let me,
So yeah, there's a whole history here, and I wasn't actually around here at the mechanics at the time, so.
I would have been 2 years old, so I was not around.
oh,
Yeah.
Hubner played. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, smooth G. You know your mechanics history, and in fact, there's been some amazing chess tournaments here, and they're not lost in the sands of time. They're archived and remembered, and even if old guys like me can't remember everything, they're still it's still out there. So this strategy didn't work.
I think F6 is a mistake.
This F6 might have been a mistake, or else that it was. Yeah.
Because playing pass over on the
This
other
just
side didn't work.
this is just White's bound to break. Seems bound to break through here. And the Black's problem is that he can't exchange here because eventually White will probably. It looks like White will take the A file. It'll just open up the A file for White, and so it doesn't behoove Black to behoove.
what was this picture?
Okay, so we're looking at a picture with this is the tournament, right?
Yes, because so the way I know that picture is used to be Kalchas's profile picture on Facebook. Kalchas's.
And Sophia is in this picture, correct?
And I think Patrick is on this picture.
Yeah. So this, you're right. This is Patrick might have been an organizer of this tournament. This is Gulko, right? I think. Boy, I can't make it bigger,
Let
but
me, I think if I do this,
yeah.
yeah. 95.
This is the 95 Pan Pacific
So
tournament.
I'm gonna show everyone. This is the picture that we are looking at.
Right.
It used to be Kalchas's profile picture, and that's Sophia. Yes, that's Sophia there.
Patrick Wolf is a two-time U.S. Champion, and he's a trustee here at the Mechanics Institute. And he's made a couple of attempts to come back at playing chess, and has not, with mixed results. And Ji Jun played,
Yeah.
and Sophia Polgar.
Okay.
And
So then Susan
Robert
was-
Hubner and Victor Korchnoi.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Patrick Wolf played. He
Yeah,
might
probably not.
probably he played in the one with Mikhail Tal.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was an earlier one. Okay, so Black's in trouble.
Ashley, no, actually.
Yeah, I think, is Maurice Ashley in that picture?
I don't know.
I think he might.
No,
No?
I don't think.
Not everybody is in that picture.
That's not Maurice. That's is this Maurice?
It might be Maurice.
I think it is. I think it is Maurice. Mhm. Yep. And there were 3 Pan Pacific. Yes, young man.
Yeah, Maurice.
He's a young man.
I didn't know this until the other day. His siblings are both kickboxing world champions.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was watching the
Wow.
stream of one of
Wow.
the Singfield Cup, and both his brother and sister are both like kickboxing world champions. So him just being a grandmaster is actually like he's the
Right.
disappointing one.
He's a disappointing one.
And they said this
Well, I
on,
don't know
on,
about
the, on
that.
the broadcast.
Mhm.
But
So that's quite a family.
yeah,
That's quite a family.
yeah.
Wow.
So, grandmaster and 2 professional kickboxers. Yeah, not bad.
Amazing. Well, yeah. Interesting. So Black's in trouble, and
Oh, we should go to board 1.
Yeah.
They drew.
Drew. I'm
wow.
sure
Okay,
I
they're going to be in
accepted.
here in a minute. They're going to be in here in a minute. So I want to find out.
Yeah.
Let's go. I hope they. Let's get them
Yeah,
in here.
let's do a transition though. I'm
Okay.
gonna. Do you wanna do?
Which wacky one do you want this time?
Yeah. Actually,
You don't wanna
how do I get both their names over here?
Close the interact.
Yeah. Let me close. Well, no. Juan, let me take my name off of here, and
Okay.
put. Can I put? Elliot and.
I do.
Are you gonna come tell us about your game? Hosea?
Yep.
Good. And I hope Elliot comes in here. Let's put your.
Who's Elliot?
There's Hosea Stearman. Can we put Elliot here too, as well?
What is Elliot?
I don't see him yet. There he is. Boom. The problem is they're on top of each other.
What is Elliot?
We're waiting for Elliot and Brian, 'cause his was finished.
Nice. All right, and I'm going to take a break while those guys look at their game. Let's find the game. Oh, let's go to the DGT boards. Thank you.
Yeah, transition.
Yeah.
Transition.
Boom. Fancy schmancy. All right, we have
Elliot, let's see.
Elliot Winslow is coming, folks. I promise.
Still there.
He's still there, but he's coming. So, what did you? That was quite a flurry of tactics at the.
Yeah, I missed C4 at the end.
Yes, C4.
Nice.
That was really cute.
He didn't even see it.
He didn't see well.
Until like he played it, which is unfortunate.
Right. I'm trying to find the DGT boards. There we go. Boom. Interact. And there's a little bit of a poetic justice in a way because he made it sort of a tacit draw offer with that bishop c6 and d7.
Yeah, I
Big.
decided not to, but
Right. No, I thought it was great fighting spirit on your part,
almost got me in trouble.
It almost got you in trouble. But didn't this opening,
Yeah, I was already in trouble after
out of the opening, and Elliot nailed you badly once with this opening
He did.
too, right? Like,
Yeah, I played it a little bit differently, but he really crushed me the last time we played this.
Yeah. Yeah. Elliot, sit down. I want you to sit down and
I've been sitting for
analyze
4
this
hours.
game. Well, analyze the game.
I'd rather
This is a
so.
post-mortem. We want to see.
Post-popping.
We want to see a post-mortem between these two great players. Go on. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna get your
Sit
Oh,
down.
I got it.
Sit down and analyze the game. Use the mouse. Give me a break for a minute.
Oh, whatever.
All
What do
I
right.
think you missed some chances in the opening.
In the opening.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
All right.
Okay.
Jose,
example.
you can take us through it.
So
It was yet another.
yeah. No.
Close to
I thought you were
same.
gonna play E5 knight G7 line.
Well, this is. It looked pretty good last time.
I mean, last time you killed me.
I don't remember. I do not recall it this time.
Yeah, so I thought you were gonna play that, but I mean F4 is just a mistake here.
Yeah.
I should play knight G2
Knight
first.
G2 has been played. And then there's that B5 at some point.
So I have to play
without
queen
rook B8.
F3. So yeah, here queen A5 here.
Drop the H4.
Hmm?
H4.
I know, but what about Queen A5?
Oh, Queen A5.
Yeah, queen A5.
Ah.
Knight
And the point?
E2?
Knight G2, knight D4, and you win a piece.
Eeps. A whole piece or just nothing but a piece? Where's the piece?
Well, either a piece or like an
Oh,
exchange and a pawn.
Where is that? Oh, because of I blocked C2 being
Yeah.
guarded. Whoops.
So
That's
queen
pretty-
A5 here, I have to play king D2.
Or Bishop D2?
Or Bishop D2.
Well, bishop D2, knight D4.
Knight D Queen D1. Charming.
And
Yeah,
then
Knight G3,
Knight
etc.
G3.
insider.
Yeah.
Looks bad.
It's just terrible. So I thought queen A5 here, I have to play king
Maybe.
D2.
I've never even,
Oh my god. Yeah.
I've never even looked in that
Oh
direction.
my god.
And then again here, after queen H4 here, doesn't knight B4 just win a pawn?
Pawn?
Because after rook C1,
Oh,
you
of
take
course.
C3, knight takes A2, knight takes
Wait,
C3.
rook takes C3. What was it?
Knight B4.
No, knight B4.
Oh, Knight B4.
Yeah, knight B4. Rook C1, bishop takes C3, pawn takes, knight takes A2, you win C3 too. So
Two
knight
pawns.
B4, there's
I
no
do.
way for me to guard C2.
But rook C2, what am I missing?
What do you mean?
Wait, so
Knight B4.
Knight B4, rook C1, bishop takes. Oh, I can't go rook C2.
Yeah.
The pawn's still on C2. Oh! Well, that's pretty good, too.
Yeah, I thought knight B4 here was.
Is everything good for me except what I played?
Yeah, what you played, I think I have some chances to equalize.
Okay, so I missed a shot
You're
or three.
Tactically, we should be slapping you around with your tactics. Study your 1 and 2 move tactics.
So knight D4, rook C1, I felt pretty safe. F5. I'm after knight D5, I missed pawn takes E4. That was I wouldn't have
Snazzy.
gone to. It was fine still though. How come you didn't play knight E6 here?
What was the reason?
F5.
Yeah,
But after F5, you take it,
knight check.
and then king H8, and then knight F4.
No, you're taking back on F5 first.
Yeah, take back F5, knight F4.
Knight F4, does that not? Oh,
Knight,
your knight's on E3, on E6, right. So you have to say knight, something to F4.
knight E to F4.
How unfortunate for me. Yeah, you take bishop F3, you just take twice on.
No, knight D3 check.
Ooh, ow.
Yeah.
Ooh. And bishop F1, then I can take on F5 twice. Why didn't I like knight F? I thought it was because of that, but I guess I get.
So after knight E6, I
didn't
would
look
have played.
far
I
enough.
would have played knight E2, and then you take F4, but it's a little bit better than your knight being on C6. I think. I don't know.
Well, I win a pawn, as opposed to not winning a pawn.
Well, yeah, but you win a pawn, I get some compensation though. I play bishop F3, bishop G4, and trade bishops.
But E5 still sits there.
Yeah.
But I can't. I'm less likely to get there.
Yeah. So I played knight E2. I saw knight takes F4, but I underestimated it. I think I should have played like bishop F3 here or something.
Covering the file first.
Yeah, bishop F3. I thought knight F6, then rook D1.
And then I just come out. Yeah, I can still do
What'd
it.
you do?
I can still put my bishop on D7.
Yeah, he's in. interesting game.
Yeah, it was an interesting game. Was it?
Looks like we'll play next week.
Huh?
I think we'll play next week.
I'm not here next week.
Oh, you're not here
Yeah,
next week?
sorry.
Oh, dang.
Hopefully I'll be here for the last two though.
Oh,
You took your bye next round?
Yeah, have to put it in officially, but
Well, have you played everybody? Have you played Lee and Good and Lucas?
Did you play Eric Lee?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
beat, I
that's-
beat him in round 3.
That's right.
So this was the last chance for somebody to put you within range.
I mean, you had your...
No, I
Yeah,
had my
you had your
chances. That's the problem.
chances.
Okay, so knight e2 takes g5. I mean, if I take e5 here, you probably don't have any winning chance. I mean, it's probably just a draw, right?
I don't know. Having that bishop on e5 is kind of nice.
Yeah, but I think you're gonna trade your bishop for my knight, and then we get.
When, where?
Well, if you don't, then I'm gonna trade my bishop for your bishop.
You know,
So bishop takes e5, bishop takes
Okay.
e5, move my
King
king,
H2.
and
you
then
have to
bishop
move your king
g4.
first. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, rook
I
d1,
don't
Lock
get
me
any
up the
back.
bishop pair for a few moves. Do something with it.
bishop d7.
yeah, hard to find something.
Yeah.
But that was a funny looking move, rook g5.
Yeah.
Mean, rook g3 or something makes more sense. in a
Rook
way.
g3. I mean, after bishop c6, I don't really have like a good.
Yeah,
Good
I
way
know
to
what you
defend.
mean.
So can I do what I did?
How come you didn't take it?
I didn't like the f pawn.
Well, yeah, but the takes. Knight takes f3, king takes f3, rook f8.
She doesn't
Have I taken on
want to
c6 yet? So wait, rook takes, pawn takes,
Knight takes
knight
f3,
takes f3, king takes, rook f8.
rook f3.
you,
I guess.
Jose,
King
he doesn't
G4 and
want
there's
to
still
win
knight
H5, H5 check.
bishop
Oh.
d7.
Is h5 such a... Big
H5
deal.
check, king g5.
Or can you not take it?
No, taking it, rook takes f5, pick up the piece on d5.
Ah, the knight's gone. Okay, good point. And if king e4,
King e4, rook e8, you have a draw. But, I mean, you play bishop d7, bishop c6 anyways. It's a draw.
annoying. Oh well, yeah, they open.
Yeah, so I tried to do something with king g3.
Yeah, that's.
Wait, and I calculated it up to.
You cheated on the edge. Maybe you missed c4.
I calculated it up to rook d3 and I missed c4,
It's funny.
which was unfortunate.
You think about reasons for playing the Sicilian, and then you think reason for playing the main line. d4, trading off the c pawn. See, you forgot to trade off the c pawn. It came back to bite you.
So if bishop h6, I guess rook, bishop takes e5.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to play rook d7 straight up.
Right here?
No, down the line. So, whap. Okay, so takes here. Is that what I did?
This is bizarre.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I had away. I
Yeah,
thought, I thought
you thought you blew it, right?
at first I thought I blew
Yeah.
it, and then I saw c4, and I thought,
Yes.
but then I realized actually takes rook f8. You could just play what? Where was it? There was some way that you could. I don't remember what it was. No, I'm confused. So here, okay. So these are forced. So rook f8.
I
And now-
don't think I have.
Unfortunately for white, rook g3 doesn't work.
Yep, I guess that's that. So what you did was what you did.
I mean, I thought about like d7.
Yeah, taking pawns.
Tell me about what happened.
Yeah, that was actually I was actually looking at you giving up the piece for a bunch of pawns.
But I thought
rook
this-
d7 takes rook h. Whoops, that. The end of the game.
It's another game, yeah.
Oh,
I thought I had better chances with bishop g4 though,
yeah, maybe.
which turned out to
And
be.
in fact, I wonder. This is
I
where
thought king g7 was maybe.
well, I got to get in there soon. I got to
Well, yeah.
control
you,
e7
yeah,
sooner or later.
so.
So what exactly is going on here after king e7?
So the thing is,
Here I'm wondering if that's a mistake. Rook f2.
the thing is here after takes, I have e6, king 8, e7, bishop d7, king d8.
Yeah, it was
We
annoying.
just gotta fix something over the camera.
Oh, so yeah, I couldn't.
You have, you
Am I
have.
off the screen? Oh, good. Or is it actually on the screen? Yeah, I'm on the screen. Yeah, I where else could I go with my rook? That's the question. Could I go to f4? That's it. Which camera is that? Well, that's
Hi, folks, we're watching Russell Wong and Ethan Boldy.
not here.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So
I was thinking of you like
so
just
what
giving up
happens
the
after
rook.
rook b2?
So rook b2 e6,
I can't do that.
and you have chances of losing that.
Yes, I can see
I
that.
think it is in fact lost.
I don't know. I think you can,
Okay, what if I
because if you get rid of c3, then
what if I played rook f4 instead of rook f2?
the idea being,
You can't put it on the board.
No, you can't put it on
yeah,
the
with
board.
that rook, okay, rook f4, king e7.
With the keys.
Yeah.
Bishop.
And then
Oh.
how does that go? Rook e4, king e6.
Same thing, right?
Yeah, well, I'm looking for some way to, because you get so you can't move your king without, because then I play king f6 and keep you out. I thought you could just you should have just pushed the pawn, gone up and taken c5, and then you'd have an awful lot of
So
pawns for
what,
next turn.
what happened here? Rook f2, king e7, and now
I have to worry.
what did you play, Elliot?
You just rook
I'd start
f7
checking him
draw.
and we just,
So what if we put the rook on d2? Does that?
Well, rook on
Doesn't
d6
change
doesn't do
anything.
anything, yeah.
Yeah, then
They still can't
I
get-
think critical is just taking all the pawns, but I think white should be able to.
So and if rook
Might
b,
might be even winning.
what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah. You have to be very careful.
wait, you want to take all the pawns and then take the e pawn? Unfortunately, I have a little trouble doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take all the pawns, go around to e1, and then.
It's a lot of moves. And then,
Actually, I think you can take all 3 pawns and e7. Rook takes b2, e6, take a2, king e8.
King d8.
Oh, right, you
Rook
have to-
d2. Oh, you have rook d2 check.
Wait, so e6, rook takes b2, e6, rook takes a2, king d8.
you can toss in bishop
Yeah, rook
d7 too.
d2 check.
Oh, then bishop d7.
In fact,
No, the
rook
pawn's
takes,
still on e6 though.
Oh,
rook takes b2, bishop d7. Does that work?
No, but why would I do
Seems
that?
weird.
Because
Yeah,
because then when you move your king, you're already on the right square.
But then you get back to black can
Okay,
get back
so
to e2.
yeah, but I can go
Oh,
to e2.
right, good point, good point.
Yeah, so e6 takes. I mean, takes b2, e6, takes a2,
King e8.
king e8, rook c2.
Oh, okay. So e7. Eeks.
Rook takes c3.
Okay.
Take all the pawns.
King
Probably
d7.
Still a draw.
King d7.
Oh,
rook,
rook check so that I get to e3
yeah, rook check first.
without bishop e6 being really annoying.
Yeah, give it a check.
And then like, what's the valuation there? I don't know.
There you get all the pawns. That's actually
I mean,
that's
black has
funny.
no losing chances, so that's always nice.
Oh yeah, I cannot lose
mean,
there.
it's-
Yeah. I have
So
the-
if you see it, it's worth going for.
Ooh, bishop and the wrong rook pawn. How entertaining. I didn't see that I could take them all and then get back. And
Oh, true. Yeah, you actually literally have no losing chances because
Yep.
it's the wrong pawn.
Look at Russell. He's really under
So you're
pressure.
actually taking
Yeah, the computer
four
says
rounds.
computer says rook b2 wins. So.
Nice.
It does? Who said that?
I
Over here, somebody?
yeah.
Computer.
I mean, I figured it did, but I knew I had some practical chances.
Stupid computer. What is it now? But how? Ha. What is this about?
Yeah, you just take all the pawns and the bishop can't stop 3 pawns and the king's out of play.
I guess.
Probably need some accurate
Beep.
pawn pushes.
Wow.
Well-
Oh well, that would have been.
Pretty
The rook
spectacular.
f2 then becomes the right move. Oh well.
Rook b2, king e8, rook a2, e6, h5.
Oh, actually h5.
Oh, what?
He's dislodging h12.
Well, I guess the idea is I can't queen the pawn and fast enough for the pawn.
It's
Pawn
weird.
runs up the a
Wow.
file.
Wait, so
That looks like some computer.
No, I panic.
I don't
Look
know.
at draw. And I had to draw before anyway. And you had one move to draw. I figured. You know.
yeah, that's,
Well-
that's a pretty
And all that.
phantom line.
Why is the score still here?
Karen, do you have time to show your
You're
game?
broadcasting, right?
Yeah, that was.
Tell the world if anybody wants an old safe with a bad 4.
Don't make your passcode. foreign it.
Okay. I'm gonna just get rid of some names up here. If I.
That's a good question, actually. Well, Tenzing won. I don't know where he is. Wait on there.
He's 2 points back.
So, what's happening with Aston sort of a result too?
I think Sotokova should win. It's just trying to figure it out.
You beat Lynn, but you're not playing now. Next time.
I'm looking for your name, sir.
Title
Too many names on here. We have to figure out a method to get the flow. Kyron Griffith. I'm looking for Kyron Griffith.
Oh, there.
Ta-da! And now I'm looking for my name. Ta-da! Okay.
Play Givon.
Okay.
Whoa, that's a cool transition.
Yeah, I know. We're getting.
Wow, Russell hasn't lost yet?
Do you know
Wow,
what's happening?
that's impressive.
Let's take a look at. Do you want to take a look
That
at
is in major
that?
trouble.
Sorry.
Is he playing? What
Let's
rounds is
see.
he playing or not? He's not here today, is he? No.
Okay.
So what, is he playing
Oh,
next week?
Givon,
That game was a draw, folks. Eric Lee, can I just look at the end of this game?
Yeah, it looked like he was just breaking through.
Yeah.
Exchange up.
Yeah. That's what we thought.
I
G5.
didn't see how he won the exchange, but it seems like a pretty clean conversion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, this game is. This will just go quickly. This. All right. That was the end of that game. Kyron.
So he's playing
Whoops.
Invincible next round and the 9th. But again, like he just.
Do you want to lead us through your?
Yeah, I can go quick. Played a winnower. And yeah, this is all main line. And then played this Queen D7 move, which I don't think is right. I think you have to play Bishop A6 here, just because I can just take the knight. Which
Right.
is what I did.
Well done.
Thanks. I mean,
Queen E7, Knight D5, right?
Bishop G5 threatens to take the knight, and
Right.
Queen D7 doesn't.
Yeah, I think he probably just didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean it's a very normal move here. I think he was just playing too quick and
Oh,
then
yeah.
messed up the move order. And then
Yeah, I don't think you got what you could have
I
gotten out of this.
I definitely did not get what I should have out of this.
Yeah, and it's
Especially with this king run. It seemed like a massive waste of time, but maybe he has to do it. I liked trading on a6 because now it's knight on a6.
There's a way for white to play here, which is interesting, which is to play for c4. After the white squared bishops come off, you play knight e2 and then play for c4.
Yeah,
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can play a3, b3, knight e2, c4 for sure. I do like keeping this knight dead. Like one of my reasons for going for this structure is that
You're good.
right, and the downside of playing this, of like trying to keep the knight out like this, is that black can play c5 pretty quickly usually.
Right.
In this kind of position, c5 looks like not advisable with the king on c8. So I kind of figured that I would be dead for a while. Queen f4.
Threatens knight g5. Maybe he won't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of thought it was better placed on f4. I don't know if that was true. I think Queen f4 is okay. Maybe. So I wasn't sure if I should castle or delay it. Maybe Rook h3 is better here. Because I can go Rook h3, King f1, and do that play like that.
Right.
I want to play b4, but you can actually go knight takes b4, and it's a little awkward. I didn't even want to have to calculate that.
Yeah.
I have the laptop, which is probably not. Sure.
Okay. We have
work laptops and
one of the boards has been
but all
changed.
the details will communicate well in advance. So it's October 8th. So.
Is there any?
We should maybe just keep it on one of the cameras.
Any direction?
Here. There we go. Monsieur Drain on board 9.
I have a cabinet full of
So they're actually going to put a camera in their room
Okay.
too?
Yeah, I'm not sure castling is right because g6 is actually good. Is probably the best move here.
What about g5? Maybe right away.
Look into
I think too committing because I mean I obviously don't take
Yeah,
it.
there's the same thing, same issue.
Yeah, I definitely don't take it, and I just kind of I can play Queen of 6 or I can go Queen D2 and just put a knight on G4, and the knight on G4 is just a monster in
But
these positions.
doesn't Black have to play c5 for counterplay here? I mean, what else is he going to do?
He actually got an
Does he have
interesting way.
another way to play?
So he plays C6. After
Right.
bishop takes E7, Black has H5.
Oh, going all the way back.
Oh yeah. But I just play Queen H3, right? H5, Queen H3, and then kind of same situation.
Same situation.
Maybe it's a little bit better because I don't have H4 ideas later, here, but
Right.
now knight g5 is always in the air.
Right.
But it's the same. It's kind of the same.
Kind of the same thing. Okay. Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah. No, and
From
Paul and
Twitch.
Nick will be doing commentary.
Right. So now knight 92 makes sense because I'm trying to go to g3
Right.
and h5. Peter says h5 is mandatory. Okay.
Well, you have to be a certain kind of player to like
Probably
these
means I missed
positions with
something.
black, you know.
Did you see?
Oh,
So he played a5, which
Yeah.
I thought was a little for ambitious, but maybe it's his
Yeah, but
best try.
they're both live.
Yeah, you have a clear line into his position there, right?
Yeah, I just took and played a4. I kind of figured that if he gets too
That would be hard.
ambitious on the queen side, I'd probably just mop the queen side.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happened,
I think
right?
I should have taken on g6 here though. I really regretted not taking on g6 here.
And then playing what, queen g4 or something?
Just take and play a4 and just not give him this g5 option
I see.
because it actually shuts me down like quite a bit.
Okay.
Because like I think trades. I mean, he clearly has no attack or anything like that, and the G and H pawns are always weak, and it's just guarantees that I'll have a way in.
Okay.
Yeah, this was kind of annoying. But I get
Maybe he
G4.
should have go back one. No, instead, it's counterintuitive. No, after g5, queen d2, it's counterintuitive. But maybe he should play bishop g7.
Yeah,
Isn't
maybe
that
it belongs
weird?
there.
With the idea of playing rook f8, rook a8, because bishop e7 is so natural, but like the way it turned out,
Yeah, the knight comes to G4 with tempo. Which is
yeah.
Nice.
I mean, the only way I would say that is just in retrospect because of what happened.
Yeah.
It looks bishop e7 is
I mean,
so natural.
I guess on the other hand, you give up the b4 square, so maybe like bishop g7, play like rook b1 and then queen b4, and
Yeah,
just kind of you know,
right.
start maybe even getting an attack going.
Yeah.
And then the knight can go to d2,
Actually, rook
b3.
b1 sets up the threat of queen a5
Yeah, yeah.
right away, and it doesn't give. Oh, it does.
It'd be-
He can play rook
It'd be
a8.
bishop g7, rook fb1, rook h8, queen b4. I guess one of the rooks, probably rook 8 to a6.
Yeah, that
And-
bishop at g7 is
So then
horrible.
like knight d2, knight b3 coming. Like I think actually bishop
Salmon done.
Yeah.
e7 might be.
I'm saying if there was a higher section.
No, but there are.
So
F5.
yeah, I was
Any
surprised.
questions?
I was kind of surprised.
I thought that looked weird.
No, he's higher than
I mean, I guess the question is how does he deal with the h6 weakness for the rest of the game then? I mean, he could play rook a8 and g4, bishop f8, and just
Right, but then
But then-
you thought f4.
yeah, f4 is going to come for
And
sure.
then
And
yeah,
also f6 is.
he might get a4, but you're getting f7. So
I can straight up gambit that pawn from most likely.
Right.
None of those Southern California, Northern California.
Exactly.
Surprised to see queen g7. I thought bishop g7. was
Well,
coming.
let's see. If bishop g7,
Maybe I still even just play c3 or something.
yeah, you're
Then how did you
coming.
play for Southern California?
That's a good question.
Because he has a residence.
I don't know if anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can see why I regretted not taking on g6 because my knight on g3 is pretty trash.
So
Yeah.
we'll send all the info. Thank you.
Zeros after bishop g7. Yeah, that's how badly I messed this up.
25.
Oh, so he should have played bishop g7 instead of queen
Yeah.
g7.
Yeah. But now,
Yeah, but that's the computer. What do they know?
now queen g6 is actually like a serious threat.
Yeah, it is.
I just get a ton of play over there.
I don't know how the game progressed because we left it after something that it looked still unclear
Yeah.
later.
b5, play throw on rook fb1 to force king c8, which
Right,
I'm doing the.
I think is good. It's hard to say because like on one
because you can
hand,
go to king g7.
on one hand it brings me closer, but on the other hand it cuts off the rook
Right,
coordination. So
Right.
I'm not actually sure this was right.
That's fine.
yeah.
Queen g6 he must take 'cause
Yes.
f6 or h6 is
Right.
hanging. Bishop g7 I think is accurate
Right.
because knight e8 is coming and this one forces knight h5.
Are you in fact going to the type place?
Probably.
I know. We were looking at this and didn't know if this was what was going on here.
So I think rook takes a4 is mandatory. I think taking on a4.
Type place around somewhere.
I think rook takes a4 is
What did
mandatory.
he play?
He played king d7.
Okay.
And this gives me a chance to double, and like it's just way too strong on the e5.
I see. Okay. See, we had gotten this far without being able to move the pieces,
Yeah.
and we thought this was unclear. But we fought King G7, but now I see Rook
think
E3 is
You have to play
very
rook a4,
strong.
and I'm actually gonna play rook c1. I'm not gonna trade.
What about B takes A4?
Then I just take e6 though.
And then I see.
Yeah. I mean, there's,
Okay, so he wants to take a rook off,
I
right?
take e6, king d7, rook a1, and we transpose.
So what happens after Rook A4?
I'm gonna go rook c1.
Then he can play king d7.
Information.
Yeah, that's what he should have done.
You're looking a little silly there.
Get down that school I told me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely never worse.
You can take on g7 and h6.
Sure, yeah.
And then there's that.
And then knight f7, knight e5, and like my knight's just way better than his. So I was planning on playing that endgame, where like rook a4, rook ac1, king d7, knight g7, knight g7, knight h6. And the big point is that his rook can't sit on c4 because my knight always comes to e5, hitting it.
Okay, so what can you do, if anything?
I actually wasn't sure. I think he has to be.
Double on the third rank.
This is a very
Well,
complex.
then I double on the e file, or I can play rook e3, rook f3. Like that's actually.
The knight does cover e6, but it's really hopelessly passive, and that
Yeah.
one is still on g6. Just
Also, like knight h6, knight f7, and I'm just gonna do take g5. Like
oh, that's right.
Oh,
from the corner.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that endgame is probably winning for me, but I think it's the only try. Like this I think loses by
You'd be able to
force.
pawn on top of everything else.
This is
I
a
mean, I didn't
crushing
even-
attack.
I didn't even calculate this to the end. I just
Yeah.
assumed that like
This is a crushing attack.
because
Well,
worst case I can sack the rook back, and there's tons of lines where I sack the rook back and I'm down massively. Winning after bishop g7, interesting. Wow. That's a computer move. Like bishop h8 is, yeah, definitely a computer move.
Bishop H8
Like
here.
just like voluntarily giving up h6. Like that's
yeah, and putting the bishop on the back row.
yeah,
That
super
looks so
super duper
bizarre.
computer move.
Who would even think of it? How about playing knight E8?
It's knight h5 and
Yeah, same.
transposes.
And then bishop H8. No.
Yeah.
you are playing next week, so you're probably playing.
No, I can't play. I have to,
Oh, you can't?
I have to tell him I have to take a bye. I'm
So what a mess.
out of town.
Is anybody going to be left?
Yeah. And
Well,
then
one of you
from here it's just-
definitely
Shut up.
you missed your chance against old Hosea there, right and left.
Read in the opening.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah, I definitely need to
I just,
definitely screw that up after the opening though. I was like way better, and then
Thank you, Kyron.
didn't come up with a plan.
No, you played more consistently. Let's take a look at this game, the last game going on here. I mean, we left it at this position, and this is maybe not so
Ooh.
easy.
5.
Yeah,
I don't like b5.
I don't like after c5, huh?
I mean, you can't prevent c5.
Right.
But b5 just putting another pawn on the same color as the bishop doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But
Well, it keeps it that
maybe keeps his bishop. passive.
keeps it a little bit more complicated. Yeah.
So just
Oh, they-
So this game ended in a draw.
I mean, hard to say objectively if it's. Okay, you have to play king f4. You can't let.
Yeah, why didn't he play king f4?
Yeah, you must play king f4. Now it's for sure a draw.
Mansur was saying to him, to Robert, that he had a win, he missed a win.
Oh.
He's trying to explain to him, but I haven't heard anything.
I mean, this still looks like a draw to me.
Yep.
that I can just find out the school changes.
Unless you like
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
missed a trick or something.
But I'm guessing it's somewhere in the same one, so.
We're looking at a lot of moves, but did he miss king f4 back there?
Yeah, I mean king f. I mean, I don't know. I still don't know if it's winning, but king f4 for sure.
Let's see.
After f5, it's winning. Okay, so it is winning, but king f4 isn't for sure mandatory.
We're going back.
He's saying after 41 f5.
This
before-
move.
Yeah, and then after king f4. It's actually like kind of.
It's so obvious. It's yeah.
It's kind of reminiscent of that Nakamura. Nepomniachtchi game where Nepomniachtchi beat him on a bishop game.
Uh-huh. So why do you think that he didn't play?
Yeah.
What's the
What's the reasoning?
Yeah, it's inexperience. I mean, this is a player who's playing like a very strong game now. He's just playing his second tournament.
Maybe
he's already
worried about G6 or G5 or something, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, King F4, G5, you just take
and you infiltrate.
Yeah, Bishop G2, Bishop D5 should win.
Or the king goes to E5. Bob Drain gets off with a lucky draw.
Was Robert winning?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Mansour was winning. Yeah. Black was never winning in this game. Black was on the ropes the whole entire game.
So you think that Mansour should have played this out?
No, right now he misses an opportunity to play and should play King F4.
Easier. You can
Like a Robert was never.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Karen. Thank you. See you in a couple of weeks.
At one point, I was losing players.
No, they say that you weren't.
Right now, you miss a winning move.
You guys can Robert.
I missed the winning move?
No.
I did.
Mansour misses a winning move right in this position.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll try to take. I want to take
I
Kyron's.
was looking at this scratch. I think my brain is mush, and I don't think I'll contribute.
Let's take Kyron's name off of here.
But thank you.
Bum. Sorry, I'm slow here. And Mansour, I'm going to try to find your name. There you are.
Mansour just told me where I could have won.
Yeah, at one point you had one winning.
Yeah, at one point,
which
yeah.
was just-
And you missed a winning move too.
Yeah.
It's this move, King F4 here,
Where's that?
instead of Bishop D3.
King of 4?
Yeah, that with the idea of playing G5 and King E5, right? So
I was scared for some reason of not playing that move because I thought G5 was gonna come.
but then you take en passant.
Yeah, and he takes with the
Yeah,
bishop.
I think I
And
would have
then
to
you
play that.
play G5 check, and then you go king in, and you're
really?
gonna get him.
Oh.
I think. Yeah.
I know my endgame techniques are really poor
Well,
now.
this was the only chance you had
Yeah.
here.
I messed like at way beginning. It was way easier instead of locking these pawns this side. I don't know if I was playing right or wrong, but
Let's see.
I don't know. It was tough.
Let's
position for me.
let's see. You're a hard man to beat. That's for sure.
Well, you haven't
You're a
lost
very
for
hard.
long time.
I am. You're
20
a,
games now.
20 games.
20 games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because ever since I have been playing this TNM, I have
Yeah.
not lost a match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like 15 matches in
And
this.
your state championship,
Yeah,
4
that was
draws and
significant.
20
this
wins.
you played
Yeah.
horribly this game.
The thing was, I
I
prepared
believe it.
this opening just for him because
Yeah,
all his
show me all
games
the
were at
mistakes.
touch difference. So I just saw all the
You know, I'm
lines.
an old man, you realize that.
Well, so am I.
Well, you're not.
I prepared
you're not that
just for him actually because I knew he was gonna play this exact same line. So
Okay.
old. Well, I forgot.
So
I
you're
forgot
doing
the,
fine.
The analysis
You're
of
doing
H3.
fine here.
Yeah.
You're doing fine here. But my question is, okay, and that seems to be okay. Bob Drain is here.
Yeah,
With
and you
his
guys
head.
are hilariously discussing.
All right, this is Bob Drain here.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's get Bob Drain. Okay, so
Winning
you're
it with a
doing
big
fine. You're doing fine
Okay.
here. You're doing fine here. Now, okay, I think this is still okay.
yeah, the
All right.
bishop. Yeah,
This is the
was-
start of the. This is the start of it. Just
Yeah.
find a way to develop your
But
pieces.
in this
It
position,
wasn't
it was
that easy,
hard for him to
actually.
develop anyways because
Okay.
if his knight comes to d7, I again play knight to g5.
Okay, so maybe start with
Yeah.
with Queen C7, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then maybe you want to play Bishop E6. You're gonna because he's going to play Bishop B2 and
I
attack this
don't really
pawn.
want to do anything, but I'm just trying to find
King-
some way to develop it.
Right.
Is it
Well,
a
okay.
bind?
I'm trying to find you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
So okay.
You
So
had a
let's
nice
go
bind.
back. Let's go back. Then let's go back here. instead of playing e5, play knight c6, or play knight c6,
That would have been.
or a5 and knight a6,
Yeah.
or even knight a6 right away.
Yeah, because
So-
especially this setup for white, it makes harder for black to play because his usual setup is knight comes to knight b d7 and then queen to e8 and
Knight
just try
c6
to,
looks like a nice developing move.
yeah.
Sure.
He has to
And then
change
you can
accordingly.
play maybe bishop d7 afterwards.
I see.
Knight c6 and bishop d7, or maybe a5 and knight a6 is another way to
That's a
develop your
standard way
pieces.
of playing
Right.
that position.
Okay, so but let's see. Okay, so maybe e5 is not so great.
Yeah,
But okay, let's go back here.
yeah.
You could try.
He just
You
opened up
could
his
try.
thing.
Yeah, you opened the position up
Yeah.
before. That's a good
His
point.
sides were
Before
all-
you developed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his
It
pieces are
often
still-
comes down to fundamentals. Okay,
Yeah.
c6, queen c2. Let's try queen c7 first, maybe
Yeah,
instead.
I had plans of pushing e4 directly actually, but I just
And then
thought-
maybe king h8, so that you can play bishop e6, and if knight g5, you can put the bishop back on g8.
Yes,
although,
I like that
although,
idea.
although
the pawn
queen
is-
takes f5,
yeah,
yeah.
that's horrible.
So
yeah,
maybe
right.
that's not so good
Right,
either.
right.
Yeah.
Again, how about, he's just played queen c2. What about knight a6 with the
Well, I
right
thought-
away?
Yeah, I thought of that, but
Knight a6, and then the knight could go to c7
yeah.
or c5
Yeah.
or b4,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
This bishop e6 is just asking for knight g5, right?
yep.
And now, okay, so white's
Yeah, the idea
opening.
was to open it up from the beginning, but I just thought I could get some tempo by putting knight g5, but I didn't get anything there.
And now you're kind of in trouble.
Well, I'm going
I
to chase
think.
them back, aren't I?
It looks like
Yeah.
that, but
Well,
this
this
is.
move I thought it was
Here I
coming.
had a lot of
No,
moves like rook
that's a bad
b1 or
move.
knight.
I mean,
Knight
again, what's going to happen is white's going to move his knight. That's
Yeah.
true,
Mhm.
but you're going to have to move your knight again
Eventually, yeah.
as well.
And my
And his knight has been redeployed to this better square, and you still are not solving the main problem, which is developing your pieces. And you
Yep.
found it necessary to move this bishop again,
Yep.
and then you lost a pawn, and
Yeah, I missed the losing a pawn. I just bad analysis. I just didn't see it.
No, but then you can't really help anything here. Like if you play knight h6, I'll just
bishop b2 maybe.
no, my bishop is not gonna go there. I'll just I just want to sacrifice this bishop for that knight somehow. I was thinking of doing that, like.
I mean,
Oh
okay,
yeah, I had this move like
c5,
I had c5
and knight
bishop goes
c4,
yeah, bishop has to
c7,
go to c7 just to protect that pawn.
Yeah.
and then maybe knight c4.
Yeah, knight c4, which opens my bishop line to take that knight. And
What I'd be
this pawn
concerned
is gonna-
about,
Yeah.
what I'd be concerned about,
Yeah.
Bob, is the fact. Can you crouch down so
Oh,
we
I'm
can
sorry.
see
Yeah.
your face?
Or
pull-
let me get a chair.
Yeah, pull up a chair.
Yeah.
Is that you've fallen behind in development so badly?
Let's see.
I think.
Oh, okay, I'll go over here.
Yeah, come around wherever. Yeah. You've fallen behind badly in development.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bruce, that is just rude. Okay.
Falling behind.
Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so you've lost a pawn,
Yep.
and at this point, you've lost a pawn,
Yeah.
and that's
He thought some tactics could take my rook, but
At this point, I
think they were
realized,
better.
oh, I lost a pawn.
Yeah, it was just a clear
know,
pawn up for
yeah.
me.
and maybe black should take with the rook.
Yeah, but then again, bishop g4. I mean, just bishop g5. He
Yeah.
wants to exchange the bishops. And
It's
then-
possible that bishop b2 was a little more accurate here,
Yeah, I thought of that, but again,
Because it
Bishop
developed-
F6
Yeah.
maybe, you know?
but then queen takes d8, right?
right.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's
they
So-
get an isolated
yeah,
F6
bishop-
pawn.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
take back with the rook,
Yeah.
yeah. So bishop b2 might have been a little bit more
Yeah,
accurate,
Yeah,
but still,
yeah.
you can't complain. This is.
I just thought
you
in
know,
case I can play to
yeah.
remain with the
And
pawn.
now
so-
you're lucky to survive even 5 more moves.
I know, I was
think.
working on this.
Yeah, here I should have just gone to. Oh, I can't go to knight g5.
Hold on.
Yeah, I was-
Let's go back here and see if we can find. I mean, you can almost try to find a forced win here.
Yeah,
Knight
that-
d4. I'm trying to find a knight d4. D4.
Maybe king F7 at that point.
Knight D.
Yeah.
Let's look at knight D4. I'm trying to find a win that. If
Yeah.
bishop G6, maybe knight takes C6, and if pawn takes, bishop takes, and the
Yeah.
rook and the knight.
Right. Oh, that could have been a.
Maybe it's possible you could play knight B6, but
For
then
me, that rook E8 was very appealing. Like I just
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to play
it
that
is.
somehow and trap
sure, yeah.
bishop.
This
but
is and now your force only moves here.
That's the only move I could make,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
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 Okay.
That's the only
I
move.
criticizing your game, but you drew, so
Well, I'm criticize it.
anything can happen
I'll
in
study
chess,
it and
like-
I'll try to get better. I mean, obviously, I didn't play it well.
yeah. No, Bob. Bob says you're getting some love here, Bob.
No, it's good
commentator.
analysis. Bob, you played so well. It's just stupid moves, you know. They got you into a bad position.
I mean,
That doesn't help.
What's going on in there? Yelling?
No, that was the last thing.
Oh, okay. It's like, yeah.
Time control.
Yeah, he had me under real
So this is
pressure.
this is this looks okay.
yeah.
I mean, it's a little fancy, but you could also just exchange.
I thought he won't play king e6 just to give me more advantage, but then he
It
plays
kind of
right.
helps his game
Yeah,
a little bit.
it did help.
Maybe.
Yeah, but here it was clearly, I don't know how to finally win this position. Like, I just want to put my king on e3. And
Bring your king out. Bring your king
that
out.
was my idea, but
No, this is dangerous,
See,
like, because there's only
okay,
bishops.
well, wait,
like-
okay, so
Yeah,
hold on,
here
let's go
this is
back.
where
Yeah.
my
So if you go
problem
king here, bishop here, a3, bishop a2, okay. So
Yeah, so I have to push a3 here because he's
Right.
right. At a pawn.
Which I was going to do. But
let's just go back 1 second here.
Mhm.
All right, you don't want to play knight d7 because of bishop g6.
Yeah, that is.
All right, so let's go back one more. Maybe knight e5 check. Maybe you should just trade,
Right, and it's gonna be the
and
same.
then play knight d4.
Yeah.
Dominate.
95, don't I just play
Right.
king?
Oh, then he plays
king
a3.
e6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
it's
what I would
kind of
do.
all the same
Yeah,
thing.
it's
All
the
right,
same.
let's see.
So yeah, this was all fine. This was fine. Yeah, this is where I think something I could have done, but I don't know. It wasn't.
It's obviously I
You
don't know
played
my-
well to
Yeah, defend
to
himself.
and c5 is a good move.
Yeah.
That's a good move. And b5 is probably is also good.
Okay, yeah, because if I takes and my
More
it's
exchanges.
gonna- the pawn-
I'm not sure about that.
Mm.
Yeah, he doesn't
because-
have any other move there to play. He has
Well,
to
I
play
want to
a-
keep his king out. I want to keep his white pawns not on white squares generally. and
You guys
I want
should
to
really
exchange.
look at this.
Yeah,
This game, this could be studied.
Yeah.
This is, maybe that's a good move. Maybe that is a good move. King f3. G4 takes. King f6. This is a win. This is a win for white.
Oh, you think so?
F5 is a good move.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now king f4.
Yeah.
King f4.
Yeah, but how does it make
Thinking-
progress
That's
after
why I
that?
pushed that pawn actually.
He
But then,
okay, if you plays king f4, he's starting g5 check and king e5, right?
Yeah.
And then this bishop is going to come to d5, and you're going to power your way, in.
but then what I was thinking was once he pushes g5 and pause it,
Well, you take.
he takes with the bishop, and then
Okay.
the bishop is not gonna leave that whole diagonal.
Another possibility is G6
Well,
here.
let's see.
What about
Right.
G6?
Okay, king
Then-
f4, g5.
Yeah,
Okay, takes.
takes.
Bishop
Bishop
take.
takes, yeah.
All right, g5
G5.
check.
King to e6.
Bishop h3 check. I think you should look. You'll find that this is maybe not so hard and not so hard to win. It's actually maybe like you're gonna use your king in here and
I,
you're-
Well, that's
I should
my
have
whole-
not left the square actually. I just thought
The whole
first I
end
play
game
my
is to keep
bishop
him out of
and
E5.
then
I mean, that's all. it's
but
like-
after king f4, you can't keep him out of e5. King F4. There's no way to stop him from playing G5 and King and King E5.
Let's see. King F4, G5,
Takes on
bishop
some-
takes.
G5 check.
Yep.
King E6, Bishop H3 check. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe King D6, but then Bishop F5.
Yeah, that would be done.
And then the bishop, and then you use the G pawn.
Yeah.
You have a passed pawn.
Yeah, also King E4, does it work here instead of King F4? I mean, the reason, I don't know what was
But
bothering
you
me for King
can't
F4.
play G5 check if you
Yeah.
play King. Oh, maybe you could,
just
and
can
then
go
play
inside,
check,
yeah.
sacrifice the pawn, and play King E5 and
Yeah,
King D6.
E5 is what all I want.
right.
D5 is all I want.
But I think it's simpler than you think.
Yeah.
It's
Could you-
just
could you
King
run that by
F4.
again, Paul?
Well,
The sacrifice?
well, maybe King E4, and if King G5,
Yep.
you just play King E5, King G4, and King D6.
Yeah, no, that I wouldn't have wanted to go
Right.
into. I think that would lose us for whack.
But I think the simple move here, King F4,
Yeah,
looks,
that would
and
be-
then you'll find a way to get use the passed pawn.
Yeah,
Bruce is saying King E4 is better than King F4.
yeah, probably.
I don't know. All right, let's see.
Yeah,
Bishop
this one,
G3. King. Now, I think it's becoming.
Yeah, I never
it
saw that
becomes
move
more
actually at that
difficult.
point. Yeah. I still thought of doing
Such an
something.
important piece in the end game is the king and king
Can I
positions.
take the?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely
I've been
moved
looking
that
for it.
move,
Sorry.
actually.
Oh, you're on. Yeah.
Okay, so
Now,
let's see. What about G5 here? I don't
again, I can't just
You can't.
Loses a
move my
pawn.
pawns, right? Like, it's just gonna...
Bishop D7, F6 takes AC, King F4. This is the square I want to be at. Okay, all
Oh, you mean
right.
G5 for white? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess this is a
This is,
draw.
no, this is where I was losing. Did you see? This is where I wanted a draw back.
Oh, yeah, show where
This was the move for black to win, basically.
What?
I-
Bishop C4?
Yeah, that's just done for me.
Can you believe it?
I wanted to play for a draw since this move, actually. Because I just blundered here, but he didn't take that, and I was lucky. So...
I had too much
Yeah.
faith in this.
No, you're right. You're right. You missed a winning chance,
Yeah.
If he
Bob.
takes
Yeah.
that, I'm just done.
Yep.
So I was
Yeah.
happy at least I got a draw. Okay,
Yeah.
it was just 5 more moves after this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes. Let's take a look. Okay, King F4.
This was like, yeah, I thought I'm gonna have some chances here, but I didn't have anything after.
And now setting up that King F5 move again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So what if G5 here? Maybe try to put black in Zutzvan?
What if,
Yeah, I was thinking there is some
I
kind
thought he was, I
okay,
know at
but
one
then
point he
again,
was
if the
obviously
bishop
trying to do that.
comes back. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you should maybe look at this. We don't have time now, maybe, but maybe still G5 now.
Yeah, I
And
think
if
so.
King F4, F6,
Yeah.
take,
Yeah,
black
that
is
is
lost.
fine,
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
could you run that?
G5.
Yeah.
Now maybe if Bishop H5, you try to maybe bring the king over around here.
What, G5, G6.
What?
What about G5?
I think
G6?
there's enough transitions.
Wait,
We're at the
G5.
end of the evening here.
Yeah,
folks.
I was
G5 for
so
white,
tired as
right,
well
and
in
then-
the game.
Black plays G6. What do you do there?
G6, right? I thought that too. Like, yeah, I don't have any move after G6.
Yeah.
So G5, G6 is over pawns. Like,
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, so I didn't play that move. So
Folks, we're at the end of the round 6 of the Tuesday night marathon. You're looking at the tournament hall here, and one of the last games to finish. You can hear the vacuum cleaners in the background.
yeah, every time
And-
after my game, I hear this song. I should take a buy, half a point buy, I think, next time instead of playing the whole game.
Good
Boy.
game.
You were pressing, wow.
Thank you
Man,
for
that
the
was
fun.
really-
Thank you for the comments and staying with us, Frisco Kid, throughout this evening. Daniel, you too. You guys are great. We've got our fans are turning out representing the Mechanics Institute Chess Club. From downtown San Francisco, good night, everybody. Great night of chess. There's Abel steering the ship. Abel Telementes, say good night.
Good night,
Steering the
everyone.
ship,
Thank you,
Abel.
Paul.
Thanks,
Good job.
everybody. All right. Very fun scene. I kind of kept up with the game commentary, but I thoroughly enjoyed the witty banter. All right. Good night, everybody.
I gotta actually play this on YouTube and just see how many mistakes I made. It's gonna be